Yeah.
What a great way to intro back in.
buddy.
The sweet sounds of the dudecast.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The
Yes.
dulcet tones of Slam's diaphragm.
Yeah, believe it or not, everybody,
Believe it or not.
we're doing the cast. You really thought that we weren't ever gonna?
Yeah, I kind of thought we weren't ever gonna.
Yeah, I know. It didn't feel like
Do
it.
you realize our last episode was August 8th?
I do. I just listened to it the other day.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's a really long time ago.
It sure is. So hello, everybody. I guess this is the best way we can introduce this. No, we are not stopping to do. We're not quitting the Dudecast.
No.
It is not getting put on hold for indefinitely. The Dudecast lives.
Yes, it does.
We are here. We are going to do it, and we decided that post-election is as good a time as any for us to resume our doodly duties.
Yeah.
Our doodly duties.
Dude, our doodly,
doodly
doodly doodlies.
A twiddly teedlies.
Our twiddly tiddly we decided now is as good a time as ever to come back and resume the Dudecast. We know this year has been a little funky with everything that's gone on with coronavirus and the election and
Just everything.
I got a new job and everybody's been stressed and like it's been hellacious. And
Yep, and there's that giant.
there's that giant in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean,
Yeah, Philip the Lonely Giant.
the lonely giant. You know,
Just it's terrorizing everybody.
everybody. It's been horrible.
Well, it's been a bit better now that like the cruise lines aren't operating.
It's been.
Yeah.
It's me.
It just I miss doing this a lot.
We all miss
Yeah.
doing it. It's like now is the winter of our discontent. It was the time to. I don't know why I said that.
I was like, where is he going with this?
It seemed like the correct time to come back. We are, for those of you, what day is today?
It is Wednesday, my dude.
Wednesday the 11th.
The 11th? Yeah. So we are
11/11, make a wish.
make a wish, bitch. We are
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
nice. It's 11/11. We are a week, right? Post-election, a week and a day post-election.
Post-election, week and a day post-election.
Yeah, and it's still not finished.
Yeah, right.
The thing is, it's never finished, technically. We just all usually agree, okay, we have enough data
Right.
to, like, move on.
We
Right.
can call it,
yeah.
But
so
as far as anyone with a brain is concerned, it's over.
yes. Yeah, it's done. I mean, we gotta. I think everybody knows it at this point, whether they're
President
agreeing or not.
Joseph Biden
Joseph R. Biden.
Jr.
Junior,
Is he a junior?
He's a junior.
he is a junior. So it seemed like a really good time for us to come back and do this.
Yeah. After a year of, like, constant disruption, anguish, isolation, and alcoholism,
Oh God.
it feels like a really good time to... I kind of feel like this is a reboot. Like, I've been casting this as a reboot.
It is a reboot. Yeah, it kind of is because we're 2 months removed, and then before that, it was a month before that. I mean, like we kind of paused like as this thing was happening in March.
Pass me the matches.
Yeah.
It's just
Good
not
sir.
as much fun online on Discord or whatever. It's just not as much fun.
No, it's an
Nah.
in-person thing, and we've been trying to be cautious, all of us. And
Yeah.
you know, it's
And now that Joe Biden is president, the coronavirus is dead.
yeah,
Right.
right.
Racism is fixed.
Yep. Everything's cool.
All hail our new liberal god. And
Joseph R. Biden. Who would even think to be super stoked about Joe Biden? But here we are.
I know, yeah,
I'm more just stoked that Trump's out of the White House.
Yeah,
or will,
right. I
Or
think-
will be in January.
more than anything.
It's really that. It's like stoked on what we don't have to deal with in the White House,
Right.
which is legitimate as anything. You know, when Trump's inauguration happened in 2017, I got this little picture of like I was watching it on my work screen at work, and I stood this. You good?
Yeah, I got a little bit of
Tobacco in your mouth?
tobacco under my tongue.
Oh,
Yum.
You know what you got to do? You got to rinse that down with an IPA.
There you go.
Yeah, so I took a picture of like a figurine of Tyrion Lannister holding two lightsabers. And I stood it up in front of the screen like he was facing the inauguration podium. And I took this really low angle shot. And I kind of want to revisit that now. Or at least, put it side by side with the inauguration that happens in January.
Yeah, it's. You want me to get that for you?
No, I got it. I'm just.
That match is just being a pain in the ass. They're those green eco matches.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing I grabbed. Yeah, so this is going to be a little weird, I think. I also think it's going to run a little long because
Oh yeah. We're going to be talking about like everything.
yeah, we haven't done this in a while, so I think we all have a lot we got to get out.
Yeah.
Also, as such, we're not going to have a host in the traditional sense. This is going to be a little bit different of a podcast
Oh, that reminds me.
than what we normally do.
I invented something so that we all feel safe today.
Oh, what's that?
I forgot. I have to bring it out. I
shit.
wanted to surprise you guys. I've been doing a little inventing lately.
This is a 3-dude reveal.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's the new Better McDouble.
Inventing.
Yep, so I thought just to keep the air nice and filtered while we're down here,
Oh, shit.
I built this handy filtration device.
Oh, it's
The
perfect.
friendly robot on it.
Hold on. I can only see part of this thing.
So let me just get out of your way here.
Oh, it's perfect.
See, the goal is that the air goes in here in this pipe at the top.
I see.
Yeah.
And then this friendly robot cleans it all. And actually,
That's super
let
friendly.
me just turn it on here.
Let me get a picture of that for the gram.
There we go. And you'll just feel nice, clean air just blowing out.
There we go.
And it's all super safe.
Oh, wait,
Perfect.
there is something inside there.
Yeah. You see it's blowing a little air out here? This is nice, clean air.
Okay.
It takes in this shitty air over here.
Okay.
And then we're all fine and safe and everything's fine.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the box is just like packed with sponges and like bleach.
Oh, that's how that
it
works.
should probably be fine.
They do the same thing with the oceans now.
Yeah, right. Just fill the oceans with
Yeah,
sponges,
with sponges
and bleach.
and bleach.
Yeah.
And oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have any doubt, by the way, that this is safe, just remember the robot is smiling.
I can see that. Yeah.
Right. So that's how you know it's good.
Oh, right. That's how we got Trump elected.
Yeah.
Because he was smiling. Huh? What?
Has he ever really smiled, or is it more of like a grimace and a wince?
I think it's not really.
It's more of a grimace. Yeah, I think smiling physically hurts him.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
more
this
of a
thing's kind of
grimace.
loud.
That's more of a Ronald McDonald.
Just like love.
you don't want as much of a grimace.
This is kind of loud, so I'm going to turn it off.
Yeah.
But I'll filter the air later.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
Just,
right.
Just so we know that it's safe.
I just wanted you guys to feel, comfortable and safe down here.
What can we call him?
I don't know.
Reggie?
Didn't even think of that. Let's call him Reggie, the friendly COVID filter robot.
Yeah, that's good.
Reggie, did I mention he's smiling?
I can see it.
Yes.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like one of those big penis-shaped hills in the background in Super Mario World.
Yeah.
He does, actually.
yeah.
He's the exact same face they do. Anyway.
A penis.
I had a lot of time to, invent stuff while we haven't been doing the dudecast.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do with your time? Something constructive?
No, God. Well, I mean, I did.
Oh.
I built a robot to keep us
You
all
literally
safe.
constructed something.
Yeah.
You ungrateful fuck. I built.
His
mean,
name is Reggie, and he is my son.
It beats drinking and masturbating, but not by much.
Not by much.
Not
no.
by a lot. No, not by a lot.
Whew, boy, there's been a lot of that.
I think just for everybody.
Yeah, it's been.
Yeah.
A lot of jerking off.
A lot of
and
jerking
drinking.
off and drinking. Yeah, it's been most of my time.
That's the first it's been on the podcast.
I know,
in
in
a
a
while.
long time.
Pornhub's been just loving this whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah, I remember like a few months ago they had like they if you like signed up they were giving away like
Free premium?
Yeah, free premium for like a week or two or so
Oh, I got it for 3 months.
to encourage people to stay indoors
Yep.
when everything was locked down.
Yeah.
That's just patriotic, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's just doing, service to your country by encouraging them to stay indoors and crank one out.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's the American way.
So yeah, it's as such. I think we started on this tangent. We're not going to have a host
No, not really.
the same way that
Nah.
we normally do. This is kind of a soft reboot for the Dudecast. Yes, we are still in season 4. Yes, it is season 4, episode 14.
It sure is.
Yes, we are planning on doing more of these in the future. No, we are not going away.
It's going to be a really short best of this year, though.
It is going to be. I thought. I don't know if we should like wait on the best of or what we should do, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have to figure all this stuff
Maybe
out.
we do something different this year for the best of.
Maybe. We sit around and talk about what would have been funny if we'd got together and talked.
Yeah, right. Oh God, it's so strange. It's like
Yeah, it's bizarre.
even doing this feels strange. It feels good, but it feels strange because it's just
Yeah.
like we're out of the loop. So much is changed, and that's going to fall in line with our topic when we get to it later.
Yes, it is.
But I guess we should start with what we normally start with and give the people what they want. Why are we smoking and drinking?
It was a little late.
It's all right.
Just missed my cue.
I am smoking the Aging Room Quattro, which you pretentious douches might know is Cigar Aficionado Cigar of the Year last year.
Can I see that, Cutter? Thank you.
I'm sorry.
You're good. What am I smoking, Chris?
The same thing I'm smoking.
Oh.
'Cause I had two of them in the humidor. Ben's smoking a standard Perla, although I got you the dark wrap.
Yeah, the Maduro wrap, which is it tastes good. Tastes fine. Tastes fine to me.
Yeah, they're a little
I haven't gotten to
stronger.
the center yet. But
Yeah.
Just having a cigar. It's so damn nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to torchlight this. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm drinking Goose Island IPA out of Chicago.
Shitty Miller Lite, as per usual.
I think this is the one that's from Chicago, isn't it? Maybe it's not.
Ooh, this is already very good.
I like it.
But yeah, we are fucked, gentlemen. Are we not?
We're still kind of
We're
fucked.
kind of fucked, but there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Pfizer's got that vaccine that's.
I wonder what's going to happen with that.
So I saw an interesting thread on Twitter explaining how it works.
Okay.
It does not contain remnants of the dead husks of the virus as vaccines typically do. Instead, it contains it has something to do with something called a spike protein that is unique to COVID-19.
Okay.
Like a spike protein itself is not unique, but this particular protein.
So by that you mean because it's like a bubble with a bunch of little spiky things coming off of it. It's like a protein sequence that appears in those spikes, and that's unique to COVID.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what spike protein means, but essentially, it's artificially constructed in a lab environment.
It simulates the RNA sequence of COVID, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it basically
You start building antibodies to that thing.
to that protein specifically, and it does something to like your DNA will reproduce those instructions and build antibodies to fight that protein, which in turn will fight off coronavirus.
Yeah.
In most cases, it's like 90% effective. They said
90%. Yeah, I imagine they want to get that number much higher before they.
That's mostly how coronaviruses work, right? Is those spikes latch onto stuff and start fucking with other cells.
Correct.
So if you can deal with whatever the external parts of the virus are that actually do the infection of other cells, in theory, it doesn't matter that the virus contains whatever damaging DNA or whatever it does, because it can't get in.
Right.
That makes sense to me. I am, after all, the scientist that built that box over there.
that's right.
I kind of think I know what I'm talking about.
Reggie.
Right. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dehumanize my robot son.
But then apart from that, by January 20th, we're gonna have Joe Biden in the White House.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's light at the end of the tunnel in a couple ways, and I don't know. We just got to be diligent until then.
I think if you take party politics out of it, it's just exciting to have someone who's a little more of an adult.
Just someone. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say this. Someone
coherent.
boring a little bit. Someone a little boring.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I will take someone a little boring.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's just the Midwesterner in me.
I mean, hell, we elected Calvin Coolidge. You
That's
can't get
right.
more boring than that.
Right.
Well, he does have cool in his name, so pretty cool. Calvin Coolidge,
And it's also been fun.
thumbs up, dude.
And it's also been bringing me a lot of joy keeping up with the amount of coping that the MAGA crowd is doing.
I think on some level there's like a complete I don't even know if they know or care what's actually happening.
No.
No, of course they never have.
I think
they
the
wouldn't
party's
have
just going to
voted for
keep
Donald
going.
Trump.
Like it's gonna be like people at a big party, and then they suddenly realize they're like the last 3 people there,
Right?
And they're like, "Oh shit, I guess I should have gone home. This party's over."
Yeah, and again, it's more the like the fanatical ones. I think most like next door neighbor Republicans who just habitually vote for Trump because or habitually vote Republican because they've been doing it all their lives.
Right.
They're not going to be out there. Saying it's a massive conspiracy. Biden and the Democrats stole the election.
Yeah.
Right.
But for those,
At least you hope not.
I hope not. But for those fanatics, it's been fun watching them completely melt down online, and it's hysterical. I remember one post talking about how like, oh, isn't it convenient that after they call the election for Biden, that suddenly a vaccine appears on the horizon. Like, dude, your candidate was the one who said that it was around the corner.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everybody forgets that. Like, even Trump said, like, hey, we're close to doing it. And they've been talking about it for months. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
We've been working on this forever.
It just got here slightly too late.
Yeah, right.
Just slightly too late to make him look good.
Right. I'm sure that was on purpose.
The other thing is, like, Pfizer, if I understand correctly, among all the different vaccine programs that they're working on, Pfizer's is not government funded.
Correct.
It is not.
Right. So we have another. I mean, part of like what makes Operation Warp Speed. What a great name, honestly. I gotta give it to him. That's a great name.
Now, Trump and Pence have tried to claim credit for what Pfizer is doing.
Of course.
And Pfizer said, no, we didn't get any money from you guys.
Yeah. You did not help us get here, and you are not taking our credit now.
Listen, I can tell you firsthand that the government just peanut butters up the cogs in the wheel. If you're looking to get something done fast, do not look to your United States government to have it done.
Mike Pence personally carries a jar of creamy peanut butter and just rubs it on stuff all the time.
Yep. Just to cog up the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Biden gets into the White House, he's going to find everything covered in peanut butter.
What the fuck? What do we got here? Yeah, Kamala, we got...
And what I'm saying,
when I remember when I was a youngin', we had peanut butter. We used to be able to you get it out of a vending machine, and
you get peanut butter in a pouch.
Yeah, you get it in a pouch. And I'd tell my friend, I'd say, "Hey, Jackson, we got we got to get this peanut butter out before all the pretty girls come through." And
trade you this peanut butter for your what Hank Aaron rookie card? I don't know.
Right,
we're gonna have to work on our bite.
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah,
it's going to need a lot of work.
We can't do Trump. Trump is going to be gone.
It was we had it so right by the end.
Yeah, right. It was.
We were doing so good.
We were doing so good.
It was spot on.
No one's done as good as this. No one has talked about as good as. No
matter what they're telling you, and believe me, I've read it all.
Listen,
I've seen
folks,
everything.
I know.
The Trump impression was top notch.
Top notch. The Biden impression, loser. Huge loser, the Biden impression.
Huge loser. Everyone saw it.
And everyone saw it. I was the first one who pointed out how bad it was.
And Joe Biden and his weird friends with names like Corn Pop, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Corn Pop was a good friend of mine. And
Corn Pop was a bad guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Corn Pop, but he was a good friend, and he used to proposition me for sex in the bathroom, and I would tell him.
Now look, as me and my buddies used to say, Jack Sprat could eat no fat, and that's why he jumped over the candlestick. You get me?
And this is true, folks.
I feel like that's more Yogi Berra.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on our Biden, but we got 4 years to do it.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Woo!
At least.
I'm really gonna miss the Trump impression, though.
Yeah. We gotta put it. We gotta put it. It's up there with like McDouble watch and smoking and drinking. We gotta put it to bed.
Yeah.
It's a 3 minutes retiree at this point.
Don't worry. He's not going out of the public eye anytime soon.
He will never shut the fuck
There's
up.
gonna be book deals. He's gonna be on. He's gonna start like a fucking radio show or something.
The Apprentice is gonna open back up.
Yeah. He'll.
God, I hope not.
I know.
Absolute best case scenario. The New York Attorney General finally fucking nails him and he goes to jail.
Yeah.
And gets nailed there too.
That's what they're waiting for, man. Is being the president has certain perks. One of which is that they won't throw you in irons immediately.
Yeah, right. Even though like it's contested whether or not they can actually sue the president.
Yeah.
People do not get away with doing it.
Yeah, it's not something we have to wait and see. And again, I doubt that that's actually going to happen because I just don't see it.
Hey, you've said before, and I think you're right. Rich people, man.
Rich people don't get justice the same way that we get justice.
Or even people that, pretend to be rich and have to sucker half the country in order to get any money.
I think you get one rich fucker every 5 years or so, maybe. Well, we got Epstein and Weinstein.
They're usually
Cosby.
people.
Cosby.
They're usually people. Someone else pointed this out to me recently. Is that piss off other rich people?
Yeah.
Who said that? I can't remember. But it's
true.
like when you piss off other rich, like Bernie fucking Madoff.
Oh yeah,
Would never ever have gone to jail if he was swindling people with no money.
Yep.
But he swindled people with a lot of money.
Right.
That was the offense in the system.
Right. Same thing with Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. It wasn't until
Those penny stocks were no problem.
right. Yeah, he didn't have a problem until he started swindling high dollar donors into pink sheet stocks that the FEC started looking at him.
Whoops.
You good, bud? This is really good, by the way.
Accidentally inhaled that.
Pro tip. Check out Aging Room Quattro if you're a
Did you say
cigar smoker.
protein?
Protein. Get some protein, bro.
Oh my God.
Are you good?
I think it just severely damaged my throat.
Yeah, this is a strong smoke, but it's pretty good. So are we fucked? I mean, I guess we have to pose that. Like, this isn't,
We're still fucked.
We're still fucked, but we got to think of. I'm fucked for supremely hashtag humble brag reason. I'm fucked because none of my clothes fit anymore.
Dude, gotta say, I noticed it again today and more so when I saw you.
Yeah.
I lost 65 pounds in 4 months.
Wow.
Was it 65 pounds?
65 pounds
No
last
shit.
I checked. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm almost in the 260s, down from 330. So that was good.
I'm just gonna start throwing things over my shoulder now.
Yeah, it's it turns out if you beat your body up by torturing it every day for
Yeah, right.
several months,
And also, you have the post office.
yeah, right.
Yes. And the other upside, of course, is that you're doing this for money.
Yeah.
You're getting paid to do that.
I am getting paid very well to do.
You're getting paid very well to do that.
Yeah, it's exhausting work, but if you have enough alcohol and really decent marijuana, you can get through anything.
What do you listen to?
When I'm smoking marijuana,
Yeah, what's your weed playlist?
oh god, all sorts of shit.
No, I mean when you're walking. What do you got on?
I don't actually. I usually don't have any. We're not really supposed to have headphones on. Obviously, people break that rule all the time, but I haven't really.
The dudes at my complex, at our complex,
Yeah, well, definitely
wear
walk around with
headphones.
headphones, yeah.
all the time.
I've seen mailmen carry around a little radio.
Yeah, for sure.
So they don't have earbuds in, but they still have something to listen to.
I've put podcasts on before.
Yeah.
Just carrying around in my pocket. I've put
Just listen to Halloween sounds of people screaming. Thunder calms me down.
No, just I've sports. I had hockey on. The NHL radio was on. When we were in hockey season, I walked around with that for a little. Football season's on. So, actually, on Sundays when we do just package deliveries, it's really nice because I can listen to the Browns game on the radio when I'm doing my deliveries.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
This listen to the Browns.
It is. Yeah, it sure is.
It's a whole lot better than seeing them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I guess most of this sounds very unfucked, but a bunch of my clothes that I just bought don't fit now.
Dude, that definitely sucks. And also, you should give them to me.
I have a shitload if you want any. I'll bring them over.
I also just bought a bunch of shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
You feeling kind of just baggy, I guess. Just
Yeah,
feeling
real
kinda
baggy.
swimming around in your shirts.
I'm kind of swimming around in everything: pants, shirts. It's a good thing because I feel like my heart feels better, which is why I'm able to smoke more cigars, which I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is it's upped on my intake of stuff that's not good for you because I feel better. So it's fuck it.
Yeah, right.
So
Getting that invincibility thing going.
right, which is fine because I love cigars, but we're.
Can we talk about the boners?
We can talk about the boners.
Let's talk
if you
about the
want.
boners.
Boners?
Top-notch boners.
Top-notch boner. I've had.
I'll show them how many boners the Joker could make.
Want to know how I got this boner?
No, it's just a lot of cardio. This is a better boner. That's great.
Turns out really good for your boners.
Makes sense.
If you're doing a lot of cardio all day, every day, turns out your sex drive improves dramatically.
I took the dogs for a walk the other day, and half the reason was I was thinking about my boner.
Yeah.
Just like
what?
like, sure, yeah. Just take a walk for the old boner.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure. Anyway,
it turns out it's a really good way to
stay in shape.
Yes, it's a great way to stay in shape. Throw a little juice into your sex life.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife.
Exercise is good. Who knew?
Yeah. But I mean, the only thing I can think of like fucked wise, I'm finally getting used to the doing the like work. It's not, now that the election is over, especially, it's not as mentally exhausting, although we're coming into Christmas, so it's going to be really rough for a while. But it can't be as bad as all the election shit that we had to deal with, which was a huge pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how much you're allowed to say about that. Maybe, I don't know when to get you.
Yeah, we're going to kind of, I got to put a halt on it.
Yeah.
But it was exhausting, and now that I'm kind of prepared for it, and I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I know my timetable to, make regular and kind of get off the overtime list and just kind of, enjoy it a little bit more. It's not as bad. So yeah, I guess I'm not even really that fucked. This is weird, man. This is gonna be weird. This is gonna be a strange episode because usually we're bitching about something at the beginning, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm trying to find reasons I'm fucked, and I don't feel especially fucked. And actually, one thing I want to talk about is I have developed a great relationship with my butcher shop over this time.
Hey,
period.
that's great. Yeah. They probably need it more now than ever.
Oh yeah, they've been super good to me, and they're back to making jerky again.
Yeah,
which they stopped. The meeting places like jerky they stopped making when meat prices were like freaking ridiculous.
Yeah,
and now they're back on this every other week cadence where they're doing meat sticks and then jerky.
Yeah.
So I have meat sticks and jerky in my life again.
Yeah.
I perfected a chili dog recipe, like a hot dog chili recipe that is like so good.
Oh, nice.
It makes me feel nice. And they now they know me there, and they I don't know, it's good to support some local businesses.
Absolutely, yeah. And they always have choice stuff whenever you go in. They're very helpful.
Yeah, they do.
They'll cut stuff for you specifically if you want it, which is nice. I went in there, they cut me a nice long, I was trying to make tacos. And they cut me a nice big thick slice of flank steak.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I have ash all over everything. Oh no.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff in the meeting place in the freezer right now. I have some beautiful short rib that's up there.
Beautiful.
That I'm going to be using for something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a rack of ribs. I gotta probably going to use those tomorrow.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I think I smoked like 14 racks of ribs.
You did a lot of rib cooking. A lot of rib cooking.
Just tons of it. Yeah. It got to the point that people at work now, like, because, you have a meeting and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just outside by the smoker. And they're like, oh, you again?
Yeah. Yes.
So now the next time that we can finally have people come together and hang out in Akron.
Come together.
It's going to be a rib day.
Right now.
Over ribs.
He's got sex appeal. He's got 16 fingers. He's got rotten children. He's got Fuji apples. He's
got sack of nickels. He's got bag of dog food. He's got some distemper. He's got
chicken tenders. He's got bacon dressing. He's got faulty wires.
He's got case of lupus. He's got.
That's so stupid. Ben, are you fucked at all? Are any of us fucked? Is this like
not especially?
Is this the weirdest opening ever? We've never had a none of us fucked intro.
It's weird.
There have been times when we have been less or more fucked.
Yeah,
this is certainly on the less column.
I'll say that television is fucked because Alex Trebek passed away.
Yeah, that's sad.
And that's If
they give that job to George Stephanopoulos,
I know.
I will never ever watch Jeopardy.
It's gonna be Ken Jennings.
It has to.
Yeah. They brought him on as the guest producer earlier this year.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not Ken Jennings.
I'm sure Trebek probably fingered him to do that. I understand what that sounds like, but
I'm certain that Trebek fingered him.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just look at all the signals that the studio's been giving off, it's got fingering written all over it.
Trebek was elbow deep into Ken Jennings.
When you see the two of them standing there together, and you see that look in Ken Jennings' eye,
He's like,
you just know Alex Trebek fingered him.
I fingered that American pop culture icon.
Oh my god. So anyway, yeah, I do really think Ken Jennings is going to be the new host.
Yeah, I
hope
which
so.
is really exciting.
It's only right.
It is. I think keeping it in the Jeopardy family and like in the Jeopardy fandom.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, the thing is, like, real Jeopardy fans got very excited about Ken Jennings.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I think rooted for him. I could be wrong. I could be remembering this all wrong. But I feel like at the time, even, people really rooted for him and liked him.
Yeah.
And then you have the flip side of that, where you have, like, Holzhauer or whatever his name was.
Yeah, I didn't like
who
James
just, like,
Holzhauer.
ran the board in this, like, very cynical way.
Yeah.
He had no personality. Ken Jennings had personality.
Yeah. People like him.
No.
Yeah.
And Trebek was still asking him questions like way later than he needed to. Like Trebek basically knew everything about it by the time he was like well into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. During those like that first commercial break where he talks to the contestants. Yeah. Yeah. No. And I mean, he won that greatest of all time tournament.
Yes.
That wasn't too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Which wasn't surprising. I mean, he was, he had done so well, and everybody kind of remembered that fondly. I remember when he lost. That was like I remember like the pregnant pause and shock in the room when he lost that Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he still walked away with what, like $2.5 million or something like that.
Something absurd like
Yeah,
that.
it was crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Jeopardy. One of the things that like I really always love about Jeopardy is that it really is like genuinely so educational.
Yeah.
And Trebek himself was always really, just curious about everything and about learning new stuff.
Is it just me, or like did the perception of Alex Trebek over the course of like the last 10 years get way more positive?
It did, yeah, because everybody kind of used to think he was snooty. I was among them.
And there was that like video evidence that he was a dick to people filming the commercial for the Jeopardy home game, and like people were just like, "Oh yeah, Alex Trebek's just a dick," and like just took it as gospel that he was just a dick.
It's one of those things that I think is forgivable because he's such a huge staple of American culture at this point. He's been on TV for 40 years.
Yeah, like not a lot of people like it's I don't even know if Walter Cronkite was on TV for as long
exactly.
as Alex Trebek was.
You invited him into your home every day, and like even when I was a
Literally.
kid, Grandma would record Jeopardy when DVR came out for the first time. She had Jeopardy all over that thing, so she would just watch old episodes of Jeopardy, and she would know all the answers too. So I mean, I don't know, when you're playing Jeopardy in the room with somebody who knows a lot of answers to the questions, it's way more fun too.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it kind of draws you in.
Gotta give it to him. Helped make America smarter, at least in some ways.
Yeah.
Maybe gave people a little bit more in the way of like, knowing who writers are and figures in arts and literature and geography and all these things that like most people do not busy themselves with at all.
Yeah.
Don't forget too, we're talking about Trebek because his is a little more recent, but we lost Eddie Van Halen a couple weeks ago too.
So I made a note here on my notebook. I think this year, in lieu of a best of, we should do a goodbye to our fallen celebrities.
Hey, that might not be a bad idea.
Maybe kind of funny, maybe kind of serious, maybe a little of both.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea because I have some best of stuff written down. I was going through the notes, but I don't think it's enough for a whole episode.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have the diversity that we had before.
Yeah. We could do a year-end special and just throw in our favorites and also something else.
Sure. Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Christ, Eddie Van Halen is like, that hurt.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know, man. If you're a guitar player, whether you like the music or not, you got to respect what he did for the genre.
Yeah.
And there's nobody like Eddie. Like nobody sounded like Eddie. And he influenced an entire generation of guitar players.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
heavily.
Yeah, I went on a kick. I listened to every Van Halen record from Van Halen 1 to OU812. And it was cool. It was really cool to go back through because I haven't listened to those when I was like a teenager and I was first getting into the guitar. That was like the last time I listened to like the Van Halen chronology because that's kind of like what you want to strive towards when you're first learning. So it's really cool to get through and listen to some of the shit that he did and like some of the sounds that he was able to get out of those guitars. Like, how the fuck did he do that?
I just don't know enough about Van Halen, which is crazy. I mean, like, you guys know, I haven't seen like most movies people should have seen by now.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a lot of albums you should have heard, but that's one I would like to rectify.
Yeah, you should start with Van Halen 1 and 2 are like incredibly good. If you can get through David Lee Roth and the little silly cadences that he does, which I can't. I love David Lee Roth. A lot of people don't like him. I think David Lee Roth was the superior Van Halen frontman, and I was the first person to say this.
You reminded me a bit of Trump comedy nerd. You remember? Crooked Dana Carvey. When he wrote the Dan Rather sketch. That was the Bill Clinton breastfeeding sketch. And America turned on him. America knows this. That's such a great idea.
Yeah,
just like
so funny.
Make Trump just be really into niche comedies.
This might be the first time that we've had a clean sweep of unfuckery on this show.
Yeah, did you go, Dave?
I mean, mostly it's just been positive, You got the butcher, got the ribs,
You got the bakery.
I invented that robot.
Baker.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
I said my clothes are baggy, but that's like a humble brag. That doesn't count as like actually being fucked. That's just like I gotta go get more clothes now.
Yeah, right.
It's a good thing that I'm trying to turn into a bad thing.
Are you continuing to lose weight, or are you kind of stabilizing out?
I'm stabilizing out, but I am still dropping. Yeah. I'm dropping less. I'm not dropping 12 pounds a week like I was when I started.
Yeah,
but
right. Jesus.
It's been better. So
seriously, I took the dogs, like I told you, for a walk, and I took them each one at a time, and it was like a brisk 45 minutes, basically.
for your boner.
For my boner.
For your boner.
Yeah, just doing a little favor from a boner. Like you do.
I walk about 13 miles a day.
It's insane.
Yeah, up and down stairs, and you get whipped into shape real quick.
Even after an hour, though, my feet just fucking hurt.
Oh, I know. You get used to that. That's the other thing. If you do it enough, you get used to it. Your body will work with you on that. My ankles don't hurt as bad anymore. The ankles were the worst.
I bet.
Because you never work those muscles out. Legs, you get used to that eventually. But ankles, when you're turning and walking upstairs all the time and shit, you don't realize that there's muscles all over your body that you very seldom use until you use them.
Yeah. Right. You only really use those when you're walking a lot. And when you're stairs, I think probably especially.
Yeah. But yeah, it's starting to level out, and I kind of enjoy it, and I like feeling financially comfortable. That's a nice thing. And I like my supervisors, and I mean, maybe I like them because I don't have to see them every day like I did with my old job. I see them for an hour in the morning and then 15 minutes at night, and that's it.
And then occasionally you get to dance with a lady in the street.
Oh, yeah.
That warmed my heart.
Yeah, that was cool.
Just walking around finding was she already dancing when you got there?
No, she didn't know that the election had been called.
That's really?
What it was. And she's like, she was coming in. She was older black lady. I carry mail in the hood, which is not to say that all black people live in the hood, but we've had years of Republican control, so a lot of black people live in the hood.
This hood in particular,
because of gerrymandering.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was older black lady. She was carrying her groceries in, and she was like, I was like, oh, how you doing? And she's like, oh, good. And I was like, I'm going inside to see if we're any closer to this. And I'm like, oh, it was like 10 minutes after they called it. I'm like, they just called it. Biden's got it. He won Pennsylvania. And she was like, I've never seen somebody so happy.
Drop her groceries.
She put her groceries in, and she just started dancing, and I went over and danced with her. So
that warms my
it was really cool. It was cool.
Human moments.
Yeah, human moments.
Something we did an episode about.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's up there on you don't always get that occasion to really connect with someone.
Yeah, it was cool. People were driving around honking the horn all day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Important to note, I feel like we should bring this up. You should get your moment to gloat like everybody does when their side wins an election.
Yeah.
But, maybe don't rub it in everybody's face.
Don't spend 4 years, say, waving flags, holding rallies,
Right.
and demonizing half of the country.
Right.
Yeah.
But you get a week or two.
I don't think we have to worry about a cult of personality springing up for Joe Biden of all people.
You know what? That would make an amazing, art experiment or parody or like whatever.
Yeah.
Is just to be the guy who's really into Biden.
Yeah, Biden 2024, no more malarkey.
Tomorrow, malarkey meets its maker.
That's right. Yeah, so I guess very unfucked. This is a weird, weird episode, weird intro so far.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't we take a break? And we'll come back with, I guess,
smoking
and
drink.
I got to eject.
Do you have to let the pee fall out?
I have to let the pee fall out.
How do you feel about this cigar? You like it?
I like this cigar.
It's really good, right?
It is really good.
Yeah, cigar of the year is 96 rated on Cigar Aficionado.
Alex Trebek definitely fingered Ken Jennings.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like
I think Ken tried, but I think Alex got the drop on him.
The drop on him.
all right, let's take a break here.
Yep.
We'll be back in a minute with the main segment for the episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think he smelled his finger after. We now return to another edition of Vaguely Mafiosa Pizza. Oh, hey, what's going on? How you doing, lady?
I would like to speak to your manager.
I am the manager. My name is... hold on, lady. I ain't finished yet. My name's Tony the Wop. This is my associate, Frankie, the vaguely anti-Semitic.
Hey, how you doing?
I need to speak to your manager's manager.
I am the manager's manager again. By the way, you have a mask?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to need you to put a mask on.
No mask. Lady, you gotta wear a mask.
I don't have to do, and I'm going to call 911 on you, in fact.
Oh, whoa. We don't got to get the law involved here, lady.
I think we do, because this is America.
No, well, maybe it's out there is America. You don't understand, lady. In here, this is Sicily, 1955.
This is Tony's.
This is Tony's. You listen to whatever Tony says. And
That's
Frankie.
That's Tony. I'm Frankie. Yeah. That's Tony.
Yeah. Again, you're not Jewish, right?
Boy, if you are.
Yeah.
I respect your religion and your right to have it, but I just...
Listen, I came in here with something to say, and you are going to hear me out.
All right, why don't you just get it out? But stand like 6 feet back, would you please?
Is it pizza related?
Yeah, first of all, is this pizza related?
We serve pizza here, lady.
Is there a transaction about to take place?
I was here an hour ago, and one of your employees gave me a shitty attitude.
Yeah, that's probably Frankie.
That was probably me, yeah.
Oh, it was you, wasn't it?
I thought you looked familiar.
I came in an hour ago, and I explicitly ordered the gluten-free, avocado, no meat cheese pizza.
There's no meat in an avocado.
Lady, those were certainly all words, I think. But
Also, we don't have those.
I
We don't
saw
have
it on
those things.
I saw it on Instagram, and I wanted it.
The fuck is an avocado, boss?
the fuck is an Instagram?
The fuck is it? What are these words you're throwing at me?
Are they words?
Is this Hebrew?
I don't care. I'm indifferent.
I don't know no Instagram.
Ma'am, please stand 6 feet back, would you? Okay, there's a pandemic over here. Yeah, okay, here you go. Just go ahead and take this dead guy's tie. Wrap it up.
I got my spare jockey strap in the back, boss.
No, that's fine. Grab that. It's got the straps.
We'll be right back.
Here. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me just loosen that up a little. Oh, sorry. You got some blood on your lips.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Whose tie is that?
Oh, it's not important.
Boss, I can't find my spare jockey strap. I could give it to what I'm wearing right now.
No.
It's probably back by the pizza sauce, like just in a nice area. Where it can be contaminating to things. Well, just look seriously, lady. Please, I need you to step back a couple feet, okay?
Okay, fine.
You're crowding me. There's a virus here.
All right,
in case you didn't hear the governor.
All right.
We gotta shut down the whole state.
I'm very obviously all the way across the room.
Whoa! Quit yelling. You don't have that jock strap on your face yet.
Hey, boss, I couldn't find my spare jockey, but I did find it. Is this an avocado?
What is this? A watermelon?
Oh, is that what that is?
Why do we have this at a pizza shop?
Is this lady compliant, or you want I should gag her to protect against the spread of the coronavirus there?
You know what? Keep that on hold because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here yet. Do you have a legitimate complaint, ma'am? Or are you gonna order a pizza? Or are you gonna get the fuck out of my store?
I tried to order the most beautiful pizza that I saw on Instagram, and your employee told me I could go fuck myself.
Huh.
That sounds like something I'd say.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, it's probably him. So what's your point?
My point is, I insist you make my pizza the way I requested, and I want an apology.
Okay, I'm sorry your gums are still flapping. Is that some kind of motor disease?
Hey, oh, Frankie!
Hey!
Get a load of this guy. He's a fucking comedian. Seriously, though, get the fuck out of my pizza shop.
You want I should take her and back, rough her up a bit? I got this brand new crowbar.
Yeah.
Right. Half-Life 2 commemorative edition crowbar.
Oh, nice.
I take her out back.
I don't know what that is.
It's the thing what you pry open doors with, boss.
No, go ahead.
I take her out back. I take the crowbar, and then she'll never see this coming, boss. It's brilliant. I beat myself with it.
Oh, okay.
Smack a few teeth out of my jaw to intimidate her, right?
I'm right here. You know I can hear you, right?
Hold on, lady.
No one's talking to you.
I got to admit, this story has taken a turn that I didn't expect.
Once I've taken her by surprise, in her confused state, I'll convince her that she got the pizza. It was great. She enjoyed it. She just don't remember nothing. She don't remember none of it. She got one of them memento diseases, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? I have another idea.
Yeah?
Frankie, here's my idea.
That's Frankie. I'm Tony.
Hey, Tony. Here's my idea. Why don't we take Frankie? Tony.
I'm Tony.
You're Tony.
He's Frankie.
I'm Frankie.
Why don't we take Frankie?
What's with this loopy fucking broad?
I don't know.
Why don't we take Frankie into the back of the shop, right? Sit him down.
Okay.
We mix up a bunch of gluten-free dough. Slice a few avocados. You with me?
Yeah.
Right?
I got one over there on the floor.
Take that.
That's a watermelon, boss.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Take the dairy-free cheese.
Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing. Take dairy-free cheese. It's just bacteria. Because you don't got none of the milk in there.
Oh, we got plenty of that here.
And then, and this is where it gets great, make me a pizza.
Okay. Well, let's, you heard her, Frankie. Let's make her a pizza.
All right, I'm going to pick up that avocado.
All right, open the oven. We gotta form this broad into a pizza. Chop her up.
Sylvia Plath time. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to pick up this avocado and put it on the pizza also.
Perfect. That's what you want. Like hyper polarized politics.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many people out there now who are just in it for the showmanship or the personal gain. You know what I mean? That you kind of, the people who are there who genuinely decently care about serving the American public or this, you know, the people of their states that they represent are so few and far between that it like.
Well, there's an old guard. Right?
There's an old guard.
There's an old guard factor of people who have been there a long time, and they're like, remember, case in point, a great example is like Supreme Court nominations.
Yeah.
They weren't always like this.
No, they were not.
You know, they usually passed with a large amount of bipartisan support. At least more to the tune of like, you know, maybe 20% of people would vote no or something like that. And that number
it's increasingly gone by party line.
Yeah, right.
Which is sad because it shouldn't be like that.
I actually really fear for the court.
I do too. Yeah.
I think they fear for the court.
I think they're going to pack the court. I think Biden and Harris are going to pack the court. I also think that he's not going to run after 4 years. I think he's going to give it to her.
Yeah.
And let her like take up the mantle because he's getting older, and I think he just did this for leadership's sake.
Yeah. I guess it kind of depends on what he looks and feels like in 4 years.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I think I don't think he intends. I think he intends to make her as a key part of the administration as Obama made him a key part of the administration.
Right.
Because he wasn't. You know, we have actually. Except for Pence, we've had a pretty, since the Clinton administration, we've had a decent string of VPs who have genuinely
kind of been
hands-on, like a genuine impact on policy. Al Gore,
for better or worse.
You know, Al Gore maybe a little less so, but Biden, when he was VP, was definitely a little more hands-on. Dick Cheney obviously was very hands-on in the Bush administration
and in the affairs of other nations.
Yes. But like even then, like, okay, talking about people who cared about public service, for all his faults, I think Bush was genuinely in it for the people around him. A lot of the Karl Rove, Cheney. I don't think
Rove in particular.
Cheney even. I don't think they were in it as much for public service.
Yeah.
But Colin Powell for sure.
Yeah.
Condoleezza Rice, absolutely. John Ashcroft for sure.
Yeah, you have a difference between the people who are there to do something that they think is important, and there are people who are there to basically seize the reins of power.
Sure. Bush Jr. was raised by the old guard, too. You know, I think Bush Sr. genuinely cared about public service because he came up with Reagan. You know, I really think W really gave for all its faults, because let's not forget that was a little bit of a fiasco too.
Yeah.
I think he really cared about the people that he was governing. I can't believe I'm saying this.
I know. Well, no, I know.
In hindsight, it makes so much more sense because he did.
Because it's so blindingly transparent that Trump doesn't give a shit about Republican voters. He doesn't give a shit about his base. He just wants the self-congratulatory jerk off that he gets from being in the White House for 4 years, whether legally or not.
But here's the thing that freaks me out is, are we ever going to arrive at a point like maybe 10 years from now where we go, you know what? Trump wasn't so bad.
Yeah, right.
I sincerely doubt it.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But because there was a time when Bush was, if you were a bleeding heart liberal, which I was during the Bush presidency.
Still am.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's okay. I kind of moderated it out a little bit the older I got, which I think happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Except my family, most of them got very liberal the older I got. But I think it was like DEFCON 4.
Yeah.
When the Bush presidency was happening, because we saw these things, but I don't think Bush was like dutifully responsible for a lot of that. I think a lot of that was his cabinet and the people that he chose to place faith in.
But as they say, the responsibility stops with the presidency.
The buck stops here. Yeah,
I agree. You really gotta consider that.
Yeah, the people you appoint are people that you have to be accountable for.
Right.
In the end. Breaking from the Washington Post, Donald Trump's campaign promised shocking proof of fraud in Michigan. Instead, they provided a list of small bore complaints from GOP poll watchers about the ballot counting room in Detroit, including loud noises, mean stares, and a large man.
A large man?
It says big man, but large man is funnier.
Wait a minute. So that's what they're calling fraud? Is people looking at them funny?
Inside Detroit's absentee ballot counting center, one Republican poll watcher complained that workers were wearing Black Lives Matter gear. She thought one of them, a man of intimidating size, had followed her too closely.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You know what? I think you're right, Dave. I think the whole reason for this like voter fraud, because they know it's over. They're all like the people in the West Wing are looking at new jobs.
Even the people that are taking on these cases as lawyers for the Republicans,
they know
they can't win this.
I think it's just to get that donor money to pay off the debt that was caused by the campaign.
Yes,
which is which I understand because it's a fuckload of money. I'm sure.
Innovative. Got to give it to them. Yeah, I don't know any other candidate in the past that like.
It's a very shitty way to make your money, to question the legitimacy of our democracy, but
yes,
whatever. I can't say I'm surprised.
I think so. I saw today Michael Cohen was interviewed, and he says he's fairly certain when Trump leaves for Christmas in December, he's not coming back.
He's not coming back,
and I don't doubt that for a second.
Yeah, so we're going to leave the country in the hands of, I guess, Mike Pence.
I guess.
Or Mitch McConnell, which is almost
he'll president from Florida, but he won't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's a lame duck. He can't really do anything anyway. Yeah. So.
He doesn't need to be in Washington to do nothing.
Sure.
He can do that from his home.
I think for all his faults, Mitch McConnell is not going to work with anything that the Trump administration does from now on in order to maintain faith with a president-elect who, despite being a member of the opposite party, is still pretty moderate.
It is concerning to me, though, that McConnell has... Well, okay, so we're talking a lot about politics. Sorry. but here's the thing. I don't disagree, principally, with what Mitch McConnell has to say about the state of things.
No,
which is, Trump has a right to... do whatever he wants to do in pursuit of certifying the election.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything, but
right. The same way that Al Gore had that same right in 2000.
Exactly.
It's part of the process. We get it.
It's not entirely unusual.
Yeah.
It's just so transparent that it's not going anywhere, that it's making everyone, it's giving everyone the willies.
It was very different in 2000 because we were within 500 votes of this being decided. Yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That was so.
We're talking about a 5 million vote popular vote lead here.
Yes.
Like this is not
tens of thousands in states that are close. I mean,
Right.
tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really a contest there.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, and they all
And Donnie knows that, which is why he's going for the fraud route.
I love you, Downey.
I love it, Donald.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. I love you, Downey. I know. That's a whole lot of politics.
Yeah,
talk.
hey, welcome back, everybody. Sorry,
Did we have a topic tonight?
we did have a topic. Unless you guys want to play a game, I have some. We don't really need to do that. We'll
I mean,
save that
I
for
figured
next
as a hostless episode,
time. We don't need to
we
worry
have
about
so many things to talk about in a year of where we didn't get
Yeah.
to talk about a lot of things.
Right.
that. So yeah, I guess welcome back from the break. Hope you enjoyed whatever we put in the front there.
Yeah, right. I think.
Are we going to do two of them? Are we going to put them both in, or are we going to?
Yeah, well, we're gonna use both of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna split them up.
We
We split them up. We'll split them up. Yeah, so we'll have
save
one
the-
before and one
we'll
after.
save the
Yeah, of
normal-
course.
We have to re-record the stinger anyway at some point.
Oh
Because a lot has changed with that, which I guess brings us to our agreed upon topic, which
Do it.
is change.
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 Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes.
Ooh, we're gonna get rid of Donald Trump.
Do you guys remember that episode of the Brady Bunch where who is the middle Brady boy?
I don't remember any of their names.
Bobby, Greg,
Peter
Peter.
Brady.
Yeah.
The episode where it was during that arc where they had a band going.
Yeah.
And Peter Brady's voice was changing. Okay. And so they had to rewrite the entire song to be about changing. And every so often he would pipe in, when it's time to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what every teenage boy going through puberty really wants, is people to call attention to it.
Yeah, right.
That feels great.
Sir, this is an Arby's.
I mean, honestly, in talking about changes, we could even talk a little bit about the horrible, awkward period of puberty.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever actually talked
addressed
about
on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of figured change was going to be a good topic because so much has changed.
Yeah.
Really, since we were doing this regularly, which is all the way back in March. Was like the last regular episode. I think we kind of
That
ended.
was Three Hot Dudes, right?
It was
Wasn't that March?
The Three Hot Dudes thing we did in March was the last time that we did. That was like a regular scheduled episode.
And ever since, I think we maybe got together to do one episode. I'm not even sure that we did.
Yeah. Well, we did June, July, and August. That was
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've gotten together here a few times since Three Hot Dudes.
It's hard to remember.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's
Clap,
been
clap. Now I'm.
2020 has been a hell of a decade.
Yeah, it sure has.
Yeah, there's like a time dilation aspect to it where like you can't believe it's been 8 months since we all started collectively freaking out.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were okay. So I guess let's start from where we were at the state of everything before. I mean, everything was already shitty before, but before everything got like completely and totally.
The
fucked.
month was March.
I remember
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
I remember around March, I think it was in March, I had like maybe the worst call of all time. I said, this is going to be just like Ebola was a few years ago. It's going to scare people for a week or two and then it's going to go away.
I said the same thing.
Did you really?
Worst call I've ever made.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I think a lot of people thought that.
Yeah.
It was just because I think we even brought up on the show like all the scary shit that the media pushes on you. Like,
Yeah. Right.
right.
I mean, it happens over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, like we've seen so many near pandemics or like pandemics of limited effect
yeah.
Yeah.
that we were genuinely not able to imagine
Yeah.
something like this.
West Nile virus, SARS, Ebola. They didn't.
Swine flu.
Swine flu, bird flu. None of these things, shut down the fucking country for like 8 months.
Yeah, right.
I think, but the difference between like someone like you or me who said, it's going to be like Ebola, it's going to scare people for like 2 weeks and then pass. Is that we were willing to admit that we were wrong about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
and not enough people in this country are willing to admit that they were wrong
8
about
months
it.
later, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember at the time my call was like the opposite. I thought way more people would be dead.
Yeah.
Than actually.
Well, yeah, right. No, I mean, I didn't think a lot of people were. I mean, I didn't think this many people were going to die from it, but I didn't think it was going to be like a global catastrophe. You know?
You couldn't have anticipated it. I mean, like, it really has been since 1918.
Yeah.
That something this pervasive and global and deadly.
Yeah.
Like, did its job well.
Well, even then, like, it hasn't been. It's been, I wouldn't say even here it hasn't been catastrophic.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's like, been bad, but it's not catastrophic.
Well,
we're not like people getting bodies getting wheeled through the streets.
It's not the bubonic plague.
No.
It could have been much better though if the federal response was even remotely existent.
Yeah.
Think about what we were doing like when that, you know what I mean? Like we were planning the St. Patrick's Day party.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You remember that? Like
Yes.
that was supposed to be our big. I had time off for the St. Patrick's Day party. That got thrown to shit because, lost my job 3 days before St. Patrick's Day.
What a fucking mess that was.
Yeah. But yeah, we were planning St. Patrick's Day, and then we were thinking like, okay, well maybe by 4th of July this will be over. We could do a summer party. That got blown. We're not gonna be able to have New Year's this year.
No, we're not.
It's not like it's
doubtful.
It's really unfortunate, but there's no way we're going to be able to have New Year's.
That's not
going to stop me from getting shit faced.
Oh no,
anyway.
I'm still gonna have fun. I got the next day off.
I'm gonna.
Hockey season starts this year instead of the Winter Classic. It's going to be the opening of hockey season on the 1st. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make some sort of effigy of 2020 and then piss on it at midnight or vomit on it, depending on how drunk I am.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to know how to properly process and let go of all the bad feelings of a year like this.
Think about it. It like every year that we've done this podcast and before.
Yeah.
We have like the episode that comes at the end of our season is typically it's right after the New Year's party. It's like post New Year's recovery.
Early January.
We're
still basically nursing a hangover from 5 days ago.
Yeah, it's like that's how we've always dealt with it, and then that's the last episode, and then we wait a couple weeks and we start with the next season. We're not really going to get that catharsis this year. We usually kind of say goodbye to the years.
Yeah, right.
With that one gigantic blackout, everybody gets fucked up party. And
yeah,
it's really sad because I look forward to that every year. It's
me too.
The one point of solace that I get.
Basically, since I feel like when was the first time we did a big New Year's party here?
5 years ago, 6 years ago,
something like that.
5 years sounds right.
5 years.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure Christy and I had just started. Or no, had we just started dating?
I can't remember.
I think Aubrey and I had just started dating.
Okay, so it was the year after Christy and I started dating, and
Oh no, wait, no. Well, I don't know. I can't remember.
well, anyway, what I remember is that I kept her up way too late, and she had to work at like 8 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was like one of our first New Year's parties.
I remember the first one I was at. We you came out to say hello to my mom, and you slipped on your you slipped on the ramp at your house.
I like ran out,
slipped,
totally ate shit.
Yep, got back up. Whoop, I'm good.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that there will come a time when we can do stuff like that again.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it too. It's gonna be a party. We got to make up for St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July.
Yeah.
However many birthdays that have passed.
Yeah.
We gotta burn Donald Trump in effigy.
Yeah.
I really like the thought of it a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really great. It's gonna be tremendous. It's it's gonna be the best party.
And when they let me on fire, it was the biggest.
It was, and when Crooked Ben Reese pissed me out, I shed a single tear.
And it made me want to puke, and then he puked on me.
It was simply poetic.
And then he became the May Queen and stuffed me in a bear costume.
And I thought this bear costume is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
So luxurious.
I drank a beer because I had to get the taste of menstrual blood and lemonade out of my mouth.
That movie fucking rules.
Yeah, it does. It's really fucking good.
You know what I just added to my Plex server?
What?
The Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
I want to rewatch that one.
So it deserves a rewatch. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Aubrey had expressed interest in watching it. I had to warn her about a certain scene that she might find distasteful.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember what you're
Bad
talking
luck
about.
to kill a seabird.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, which obviously, they don't actually.
Yeah, right. But it looks
An
good.
animal is not actually injured.
Yeah.
Right.
But it appears as though an animal is injured.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really good stuff. The Lighthouse.
Yeah. Northman's going to be even better from everything I hear.
I keep hearing things. Yeah, I keep seeing little articles. People are, I don't know. The hype machine is the hype machine.
Sure.
And right now, in particular, movies need some hype. So I don't know. Maybe don't get too crazy excited, but I don't think he can fail.
No, everything that he's done so far has been good. So.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well, God, what else has changed in the last okay. Some of you more astute listeners might know that a friend of this podcast, Dan Sarnowski, and I have started a podcast dedicated to movie sequels called Sequelize This.
You guys are like burning through.
You are
making a lot of episodes.
We're fucking half a year through this thing already. Like, it's been going really good. And it's a lot of fun to record. It's a good excuse to sit down and watch new movies. Hey, the three of us at this table have a new project too.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to talk about it.
We have to, right? I think we kind of have to because it just launched. Yeah,
I feel like we have to maybe discuss it.
Triple T D&D.
Another friend of the show.
Yeah, Chuck, who was a guest on our medical episode, is DMing a podcast for us called Taverns, Travel, and Tests.
Inspired, of course, by Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Fieri.
Look for us under hashtag Triple T D&D. We have a Patreon for it. We also have I don't know if it's ridiculous, but we have a really decent listenership in the first.
So far, yeah.
For an episode 1 to get at or above 100 or 100 listens,
it's pretty big.
I find that impressive.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever
100
listens.
We have. There's one. I think it was the Ask the Dudes episode that got like 150.
Oh yeah, that was Drew's episode.
Yeah, it was Drew's. We got to have her back on for a sequel.
Absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely.
But yeah, it's been weird so far because we started a long time ago recording it and putting stuff into the backlog, and then Chuck had a critical hard drive fail on his computer,
which is terrible.
And sucks. But you know what? Honestly, there was a lot of really great stuff that we missed that is lost to the ether now. But there was a lot of honestly bummy kind of stuff too, where we were just obviously not into our recording sessions, tired and
trying to find our footing,
and learn our characters,
and doing stuff again on Discord at a time when that started to feel very exhausting. I think our enthusiam has picked up
a lot, especially the last session. If you guys really go back and listen to that show. We're gonna do it 2 Mondays a month. The first or second and fourth Monday of every month, if I remember correctly, is the upload schedule. Please listen to it. You're gonna notice a serious uptick in pace and tempo of the show and engagement by the time you get to episode 5 or 6.
Yeah,
because that's when we pick back up after the lost footage, and we already knew our characters a little better. And
last session was super fun.
I'm actually very excited to record again this week.
Yeah, it's just like anything, it takes a while just to get it started.
Yeah,
to know what you're doing, to identify. In particular in D&D, your character, your story, what works for you, just took a little time.
Yeah. We're also signed to a network for the first time ever, which is, I think, something we've talked about doing here before is kind of starting our own media group, which I think will happen at some point. But once we get back to normal and pick back up, because we have enough content.
But it's cool that we like signed on with some people that are already doing like nerd content.
And it's established.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have some people that already kind of listen to them, which kind of gets us off the ground. And
Right.
I don't know. It's just nice to do something
that people are going to hear. It's not that people don't hear this. It's just that a very select group of people hear this.
Yeah, which has never been a problem for me and continues to not be a problem for me.
This was always something for us to just get ideas off our chest and have fun and drink beer.
To catalog our friendship and to record the sound of our own farts.
Yes, which we've done successfully.
Oh, man. Remember that one fart? Remember that one that made you laugh so hard that it ended up in the best of?
You're the only one who.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not a farter.
He has a Hall of Fame fart in the best of. I have a Hall of Fame fart in the best of.
My flatulence is private.
Yeah,
Respect the privacy of me and my butt.
I refuse.
I refuse. Yeah, respectfully, sir.
Yeah.
You got to let one go here at some point.
Yeah, I'll save one up.
Okay. Yeah.
For like days.
A good musky one.
Just a big old beef and bean chili fart.
Oh yeah. Just let it get rancid in there.
Yeah, just let it hold a fart for like 2 weeks.
Really let it get tepid.
Like get it like a diamond of fart where the pressure just
I want your fart to tell a joke on the way out. I want it to be this is something you save forever.
Yeah, I want it yeah, I don't know.
I want your fart to come out swinging.
I want it to sound like someone dragged a table across a room.
Yeah. It's like your fart comes out just screaming the gamer word.
It's that. Have it come out sounded like that scene in Men in Black where Will Smith is pulling that table across.
Yeah. Y'all want to get down on this?
I'll save one up just for you. I'll develop an extra pocket.
No, don't do it for us. Do it for the listeners, man.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
owe it
that's
to
true.
the fans of this show.
That's a good point.
Fart at the perfect time. You can't just let it loose whenever. You got to like have it be like timely.
Oh man, one of these days it will happen.
I know.
And it'll be
great.
It'll horrify both of you.
It'll
Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not very comfortable farting in front of people.
Yeah.
Because I have this self-loathing already, right? And already think I'm disgusting enough.
Yeah.
But man, they are intense.
Primo.
I got some loud
Yeah.
farts.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. That's great audio.
They're like polyphonic, and they change the room completely.
really tie the room together.
Do they not?
Do they not?
So anyway, the point of all this is you should really check out Taverns Travel and Test.
There's not any farts in it, but
There's not
yet. Might be some point.
Not yet.
Not
anyway.
yet. Right.
Right.
And then you should, hey, just a little side note, you should check out Sequelize This if you get the chance.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
love doing Sequelize This.
I'm a little bit behind because I used to listen to podcasts while I drove.
Yeah.
So talk about changes. I was in the office before all this, like 3 days a week on average.
Yeah.
I went in once since March, and it was just to take all my stuff out
Right.
of my cubicle and bring it home with me.
I remember that. You came and dropped me off a sandwich.
That was that day I brought you that beautiful sandwich.
It was. It kind of saved my life. It was delicious.
Man, you got to hit up the Diamond Deli, man.
It was really,
This is
really
not
good.
my beautiful sandwich.
And you might say to yourself, this is not my beautiful rye.
Letting the lunch go by.
Yeah, you got to hit up the deli.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you got to get next. Because I think I got you the Chucks.
Yeah, you did.
Which is their like corned beef and what is it? Just roast beef? I forget. Anyway,
It was like roast beef, but in the style of a Reuben.
so I'm pretty sure that it's the Zach.
Yeah, it was good.
Which is like chickens. It's like a chicken salad with avocado, bacon.
I love chicken salad.
And like a sweet kind of dressing.
Oh, yeah.
And a tomato.
Oh, yeah. Just ties everything together.
And you just fuck it.
And then you just put your fucking
Just
dick
fuck
in
it.
it.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Then you throw it away. I guess. I don't know.
Hey, throw it away. Give it to somebody.
Hey, remember that guy that put his dick in the McChicken?
I was just going to bring that up. That video, that's exactly what you think it is. It's just a guy fucking a McChicken. Just a big old fat dick.
See, that to me is the American dream.
Fucking a McChicken?
Anyone can be famous.
Yep.
with the right idea.
If you put your dick in one thing,
It should be the nation's most recognizable
right.
chicken sandwich.
For me, it's the McChicken.
You just take
Greatest fast food sandwich.
Take that video, reduce it to half speed.
Yeah.
Superimpose like a semi-transparent waving American flag over it and play America the Beautiful. And then just upload that to Pornhub on the 4th of July.
I'm talking about America.
I'm making that video tonight.
America.
No, I mean, I'm kind of
Ladies
joking,
and
but
gentlemen,
not really.
Mr. Ray Charles.
You know what you're doing tonight is you're well, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But anyway,
Do tell.
I will later.
So what else has changed since our last like regular sesh?
You know what I'll tell you is going to be weird to get used to is the fact that when this is all over.
And it will be over, as you've pointed out previously
Yeah.
on this pod. There will come a point when this ends.
Yeah, it just has to.
It has to.
It has to. It will. When there's a vaccine and when it's, we don't have to wear masks anymore, it's going to feel fucking weird not wearing a mask in public.
I know.
It's going to feel strange.
Yeah, a little scary.
People will be crowding around in Barry Dingles again and, shoulder to shoulder with some dude in an OSU cap.
I'm actually not sure that masks as an entity are going to go away completely. I actually kind of feel like maybe people, when they're sick, might feel more comfortable wearing one.
That's a very common thing to do in East Asia, in like Korea, Japan, China.
Right.
If you have a cough or you've been sneezing a lot lately, you just put a mask on.
Right. Or if
you're in
you're
public.
a little anxious because it's like cold season and you really can't afford to get sick for some reason, whatever.
Yeah.
You might see people wear them and it might not seem that laughable like it would have in the past.
Right.
But it'll be nice to not like feel like it's a requirement to stay alive.
Yeah. In the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be, having beers outdoors again and
God.
Crowding around the bar, and it's going to feel very weird.
I've been bad because I've been going. We've gone to beat-ups a few times, which is like pro tip: if you're trying to be safe, don't go to beat-ups.
It's putting people too close.
No, it's just packed. They don't like any other restaurant you go to. They have like spacing between the seats. They don't have that at
El
beat-ups.
Cowboy is at like half capacity. I've
Right.
gone to pick up food.
Yeah.
And you walk in there and it's like, oh, this whole thing is a dance floor because
Yeah.
they've like taken tables out.
Right.
Yeah.
By and large, most restaurants, I don't want to say like don't go if you don't feel comfortable, but I think most places you can reasonably go to and not have to worry about being jam packed with other humans.
Yeah.
And there's a mask mandate that's in, so it's okay to and again, that's just me like taking my life into my own hands. I understand that it's really risky to do that.
Yeah.
But like I've been bad because we've gone to beat-ups a few times and they are not fucking taking care
You
of
think that'll
anything.
change now with DeWine's new
No.
requirements?
I
No.
do not.
If it doesn't start trending in the opposite direction, he's going to close shit down.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
right.
he said.
I read a report recently that said that there are 4 places which are by and large responsible for something like more than 80% of community spread.
Wow.
Bars.
Bars, restaurants, gyms, which are all 3 that he called out tonight, but also places of worship, suspiciously absent on the list.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, seriously.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, like, I know a lot of churches are doing things virtually, doing like, even St. Joe's
yeah.
has like on their sign, catch us on
service.
Facebook on Sundays.
Yeah.
Like people are definitely adapting.
Yeah, we have the technology, so why the hell not? God's not going to care.
Right.
I mean, like in particular with church, it seems like everyone doesn't have to be talking. So it's kind of perfect for like a live stream.
Yeah.
It's a pretty one-sided interaction from the perspective of like what's happening at church. People are mostly there to absorb it.
Yeah.
Right. And by it, you mean deadly novel coronavirus.
In concentrations considered lethal to humans. Yeah.
No, it's I kind of feel skeevy because I've been bad. I've gone to a couple places.
I went to dinner once. I went to Plaza Azteca with my dad and my aunt and my sister and Christy.
Dad and I get lunch every week. We go, but again, I think I said this before. Like we go to get lunch, but like no place is busy at lunch anymore, and the places we go are like spaced out. So
Yeah.
but like bars, I mean, like I said we've gone to beat ups a few times.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not safe. And I my love for beat ups is so great that it's not. I go in there and I'm like, ooh, this is like not cool.
Yeah, well, Sam's Wedge Inn up in the corner here is the same way. Where like
You
go to
can't
pick up food, you really don't necessarily feel all that great.
You can't not be packed in that bar. I love that bar, but you can't not be packed in there because it's just small. It's small. It's a small place.
And plus, you get the one person coughing, and you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
One person's coughing, and you're like, well, that's it.
Fuck.
It's been a good run, but I really needed a waffle fry and chicken sandwich combo.
And like my job, like they're not fucking around. Like if you they even sniff that they think you might have it, they will send you home.
Yeah.
And you get whether you have it or not, you get a mandatory 14-day quarantine.
They have a designated sniffer.
Yep.
Right? It's a little old lady that's been there for like 80 years.
Come here, dearie. Let me smell his name. And that,
You smell like COVID.
and that sniffer's name, Joe Biden.
Come on over here.
Come on over here. Yeah, I remember back in my day, you used to be able to get peanut butter out of a tin, and you get
Come on over here, sport.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little sniff here.
Back when I was younger, everything was made out of mackerel.
Yeah,
It was
right.
amazing.
It was amazing. I told my brother Stevie boy. I said, Stevie, come over here and get my back. I got to get sunscreen on it for the pool.
Hell of a thing, mackerel.
And he said, I'm too busy making the sandwich. And the point is, you got to get jobs in the country. There's not enough jobs. There's just not enough jobs.
I used to, on the off weekend, I'd go and shave backs down at the salon for a nickel.
Getting
It
better.
was a hell of a time.
Getting better. Getting
Hairy
better.
backs.
Hairy backs.
Great big hairy backs.
Great big hairy backs.
What happened to America?
And they glisten in the sun when you put them in.
Used to have a fella in grade school I knew named Harry Backs.
Yeah.
Hell of a guy.
Hell of a guy. Great fella. But,
Great handshake.
Terrible body odor though.
it was just awful. And I thought, this is why we got to get free school lunches to, all the kids there. And
I used to hand out sack lunches with some dried beans and an apple in them. Dried beans, hell of a thing, hard to chew.
vote for me.
By the by, this is not Joe Biden.
No. I'm an imposter.
It's starting to sound a little more like Groucho Marx.
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit.
I'm an imposter.
We're gonna work on it.
Used to sell dried beans for a nickel.
Never forget that time that Joe Biden called a young college student a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
Possibly the best combination of words yet in the English language.
What a great insult.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Listen here, fat.
Listen here, fat.
Listen here, fat.
You're a lying
Get a load of this tomato.
fucking guy. We're working on it, folks. We'll get there.
I am going to be actively working on my Joe Biden impression.
Yeah, we got to hear him speak more.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there slowly but surely.
I was thinking about we talked recently about the old Pokemon episodes that we did that we never published.
Oh yeah.
And I was just thinking about how horribly they would probably play now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because back then it was all wee and like
right.
pinwheels and like, all right, Hillary Clinton's clearly going to destroy Donald Trump and America will stay normal. And it was so sure that it didn't even feel weird to make cracks about Hillary Clinton's mouth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember those jokes.
Yeah, didn't feel bad then. And then all this.
The thing is, 2020 has been talk about changes. 2020 was the worst year since 2016.
Yeah.
It
In a
was
lot of ways.
worse. Yeah. Do you remember how shitty 2016 was?
Oh, hey, Ben.
Yeah.
You have to, you got to jiggle the handle on the toilet.
Oh, that's right.
It worked the last few times. I'm going to discuss my toilet now on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, let's go
You got
for
to
it.
jiggle the handle.
Let's talk about how that's changed because
Yeah.
this toilet didn't used to be a troubling toilet.
No, but I have just demolished it. I mean,
Just the biggest shits.
the last 8 months of complete, like uninterrupted. No one else has come to use this thing, and I've just put dump after dump in it without so much as a break or a reprieve.
My day, we used to go shit in a box out in the backyard.
My toilet is like Papillon. It's like dying for its freedom. in isolation, and I just keep unleashing on it.
Jesus Christ.
I have nothing more to say about
that famous cartoon of Mickey milking a dead or like a very skinny cow.
A dead cow?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
More milk today, Bessie. You're like, your toilet's like, please kill me.
Please, I beg you, someone flush a cherry bomb down me.
You just keep throwing shit. You just keep
Just chucking them.
you just keep chucking. You gotta get. I remember back in my day we had Pittsburgh toilets, and you go downstairs. You save your real smelly shits for the Pittsburgh toilet instead of the upstairs one because
You
your
come
dad.
home from the mill. You go down the basement. You drop a big log in it. It wasn't a big deal. No one said anything.
No one said, but now your dad would get mad if you shit in the upstairs toilet because he'd pull his belt out and he'd start whipping you.
Are we trying Biden again?
Yeah, sure.
I'm here to tell you the American anus is coddled beyond belief.
the American anus.
I don't know.
Whatever. That's my new campaign slogan.
Save America's anuses now.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't, were we talking about something before this?
Were we? I don't know.
Changes.
Yeah. There was something good and we didn't finish it, but maybe it's never been good.
It's never been good. No. God. I mean, like, I don't know. It's so hard to even think back on this because it seems so long ago that everybody was in a good mood.
Yeah.
Here's the real thing that changed, I think. For me, personally. I can't speak for everyone. But I will say, with the pandemic happening, seeing less people, having less variety in my day-to-day, spending 8 to 12 hours every single day in my same little office staring at the same screen. And, it's not like, Christy and I don't have enough fun things to do together or watch together or talk about. We do. But just like your life needs variety. You need you need to do different things.
Yeah. That's why I jerk off with my left hand sometimes.
Every now and then.
It's called the stranger.
Sometimes I'll put
Called
an
the
oven mitt on
stranger.
it.
You get an oven mitt.
We'd sit on our hands
Sit
for
on our
hours. Terrible. Hell of a thing. Hands would turn blue.
You gotta rub one out, but then you gotta find the right 15-second clip to get it.
This is about the soul of masturbation in America.
Right. Back then we didn't have videos. You had to go to the store and you gotta buy a magazine. And you got one hand that's asleep, so you can't flip the pages. So you gotta hope the cover's right.
And you realize you sat on it for so long it turned black and was falling off.
Yeah. Hell
You
of a
realize you
thing.
just amputated your head with your own ass. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, vote for me.
Joe the Stranger Biden. But like, so where I was going with this is just that, like, there's a toll to this where, like, even the stuff that's like fun is like sad because it's not the same, and like, I got really, really burned out. And I don't know. I guess that's just depression, right? I mean, that's just how some people responded to this thing, and I think other people are more upbeat. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. I've been very fortunate that my wife, I've had my wife there to kind of like, we've kind of just dealt with it together. It's a little easier when you have someone to deal with it with together. It makes
I think that it is.
I think it makes a huge difference. I'm going to call him out here specifically on the podcast because he's a friend and I don't think he would mind as much. I know Dan was saying, like, number one, it's very hard to date during this. Number two, if you don't have someone, like if you're not married or seeing somebody and you're not coming home to that person every day to share that with, it's very lonely as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
With me and my wife, because I really only get to talk to you guys like through Facebook.
And the thing is, that's actually kind of great in its own way, having that, but it's still, like all of this, it's not enough.
It reminds you of how good it could be. Like we used to get together every Sunday night.
Oh my God. I mean, just like how much I miss having a room full of people watch some shitty movie and laugh and crosstalk our way through it.
I'm just as British as you are.
Hello in there. It's me, the other British guy. Won't you come out so we can be British together?
It's weird. Like, this is like really the first time that the three of us have gotten together in the same room.
Oh my God! When was the last time? I mean, like maybe
since the last time we did this. Yeah,
well, we did it the bonfire at Matt's.
Yeah, right. But even then, we were
we were distanced.
We were
Yeah,
outside. Like we were.
I mean, it does really make me wonder. Like, okay, so the thing is, here's a big change. Everyone is having to make their own decisions about what is acceptable risk for them.
Yeah.
In a time where normally you would feel confidence that the powers that be would give you a plan.
Yeah.
And that you could like stick to that plan and not have to make so many personal decisions of like incremental, like, is this okay? Is this not okay? But like in absence of like what felt like could have been stronger leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. There's so much more personal need to decide what's okay for yourself.
Yeah.
Over something that, I don't know what I'm saying.
No, you're right. It's and like I said, I'm one of those people who I've tried to be safe, but even then, I'm still playing more fast and loose than I think probably the rest of you guys are. And more.
You also started this thing being pretty sure you'd already had it.
Right, that's true. Well, even that's not a guarantee, though, that you haven't. I'm almost if I did not, my wife certainly did, because she exhibited all the symptoms to a T. Lost sense of taste. Yeah. Lasted for 3 weeks. Antibiotics didn't touch it. Like it's the same thing that they're all the same thing they're all talking about. They yeah. I'm sorry.
It's so tempting now. We're gonna get really good at it.
We are gonna get really good at it because we get good at the Trump one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I feel like I'm playing it fast and loose more than I need be.
Anytime I feel like maybe I've been a little bit too careful, I like to just head down the street and lap up a puddle in the middle of the road.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do that anyway.
Like where the washing machine drains into the street.
Yeah, you
just like soapy water.
Find
a
nice puddle of standing water that's been there for a while.
Yeah,
a couple mosquitoes swimming in it. You know.
I just like to go and lick up
something you look at and you go, oh, there's an amoeba in there.
Mm-hmm. Nice heaping helping of Legionnaire's disease.
Yeah, right.
There's an amoeba in there, and I want some of that.
Well, I do need to lose 30 pounds in a week. I should drink this amoeba.
This is probably the most effective way to do that.
The hottest fad diet in America, Legionnaire's disease, sweeping the nation.
Yeah,
shedding pounds.
Said one person.
Ow! Oh God. Hey, you lit up that cigarette. That reminds me, I've been 5 fucking years without a cigarette this year in October.
That's like insane, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. Guys, if you're listening and you smoke, if you ever get the chance to quit smoking, don't do it. I'm here to tell you, I'm on the other side. You shouldn't quit. You should just keep, ignore
all the signs.
Ignore your family who are just like worried about you.
Yeah.
Same as like an alcoholic. Yeah. Like if you're drinking too much, you should just keep drinking.
You can get to the other side.
Yeah, you can, it's fine. Just like show up in a bathrobe to the grocery store to buy lotto tickets. It's fine. You just keep
scratching yourself and yelling at like the people on the cereal boxes.
Yep. Live your best life. Do what you got to do. No, it fucking sucks, dude.
I'm going to be quitting again.
You should. It's seriously, like it's a good thing. It saves you so much goddamn money.
It sure fucking does.
You feel better. You can taste things again.
One of the biggest changes for me this year is I finally got my fucking finances under control. Finally.
Yeah, we're working on them.
Like managing to like pay down some debt. I still have debt.
Yeah, me too.
But I have like
less. Me too.
Much less. I have half the credit card debt I had.
Beautiful.
That's good. Yeah, I know you were particularly rough there for a while.
The thing is, I like bought a house when I could not afford a house.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people do. That's a symptom of our generation.
Yeah, and the thing is, the banks will give you fucking anything. I mean,
They'll give you, this is America. You can get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
They would've given me a
Especially if
loan
you
for-
walk in there with a gun.
Yeah, right.
They'll just give you everything.
Yeah, and they'll let you walk out.
My wife and I were talking about like getting a home because we need more space. We're talking about looking at houses, just something cheap for the meantime. And
Isn't a bad time to be looking.
no, and then we're going to sell it because we don't know eventually where we're going to end up in the world. But we were looking at stuff around here, and talking about like just selling it in a couple years. And it was like, she's like, well, can we do that? And I'm like, baby, this is America. We can do whatever the fuck. We could buy it, live in it for 6 months and go, nah, I'm done with this thing and sell it back to the
You
bank.
treat it like a pair of socks.
Right. This is America. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I have a lot of family who move around a lot. So I just, I understand how the American housing system works. It's there for you to, whatever, fuck it. We'll just.
Yeah.
I think like rates are really, really low right now.
They are, yeah.
They're like trying to get people to buy houses.
We got to get her credit in order. She needs a car first.
Yeah, me and Aubrey have been every once in a while we'll poke around on Zillow, because our credit's pretty good between the two of us. Like she was the reason I was able to get the
Equinox.
The Equinox, yeah. And I've been keeping up on my payments. I pay as early as I can, and I overpay.
What do you pay a month? That's the way to do it. What do you pay a month for that?
It's like $196 a month. I always pay.
Oh, that's great.
Or no, $192. I'm sorry.
That's
Okay,
less than the
really
car payment
great.
I have. Mine was a less expensive car by far.
It's $192 a month, but I always pay $200 a month because then
what I do.
the monthly goes down and down and down.
Right. That's about what mine is, and I bought mine used. A 7 year? 6 or 7?
6, I think.
That's really good.
But it might be less depending. If I keep up with these payments.
Good credit.
Yeah.
That's the thing is good credit. Really, I mean, like when I got a car, my credit was at its absolute worst.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, you
Yeah,
don't
you
want
pay for it.
Yeah.
I was lucky because I was able to weasel them down to, I got my car for, what the fuck?
I'm getting a phone call from someone in my company. He calls me a lot to do tech related stuff. As he can't use his hands.
Oh, okay.
But he pays me and everything. But it's 8:30 at night and we're in the middle of something. So
Yeah, right.
I'll let him leave a message.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably wait
skip
till
that
tomorrow.
one.
Yeah.
No, I got mine. Actually, that was what saved me a shitload of money because I was trying to get them down on the price, and I got them down to like literally the bare minimum. That I knew they weren't fucking around because my final price was like 93, 48, 33. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were like, because I had the
Wait,
fight.
what? 90 what? 40 what?
$9,348.43.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was like some real weird obscure number, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And the finance man, I was like, I want it for 9,100, and the finance manager came out and he's like, all right, dude, look. It's like he showed me, like, it was so funny. He brought the piece of paper out. He's like, okay, the dude who sold this car back to us has been buying cars here literally since this place opened.
Yeah.
He's like, this was his wife's car, and he got top dollar on his trade. He's like, this is what we gave him for the car.
Yeah.
He's like, if I sell this to you at this price, and it was the 9,300, he's like, I'm gonna make $200. He's like, I gotta pay his commission, which is like 150.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make 200. He's like showed me everything.
He's like telestrating the math.
He's
of
like,
it.
I can't go lower than this. And I was like, well, can you get my interest rate lower? And he's like, yes. And he looked so relieved. Because I was like, I had bad credit. I was like 629, I think was my credit score. And he's like, and I think the bank was going to give me 9.9%. Yeah. And I'm like, I said, can you get me a better credit rate? And he's like, yes. He's like, I can absolutely get you a better credit rate. Right. And I'm like, do you know what it's going to be? And he's like, I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be, but I can tell you it's going to be a hell of a lot better than 9.9%. I'm like, great. Done. You can get it down to a number that I like. We have a deal. Save me like $1,200 in interest.
Yeah.
Sick.
Dude,
Yeah.
interest is fucking disgusting.
It
Yeah,
is.
I went from 9.9 to 4.5% just by sitting there and being a prick about it for a couple weeks.
You know what I learned not too long ago is that according to, I think, the New Testament, it's like if you're Christian, you're not allowed to lend money with interest.
They called it usury.
Usury. That's right. But in the Middle Ages, you had to make some of that money back somehow. Jews didn't have that restriction.
Right.
And so this is where this stereotype of
money grubbing.
Yeah.
We actually talked about this on the debt episode of Goose Chase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was interesting because like we're still fucking that stereotype is still hanging
That
around.
stigma,
Yeah.
That Christians did that to the Jewish people essentially. It's like, here, you can get around my arcane religious objection to lending money, and then I'm gonna persecute you for it forever.
Can we stop picking on the Jews
Just
already?
leave
Leave
the
them
Jews
alone. What have they done except make something of a really shitty situation? Do you know what I mean? They've had thousands of years of oppression, and like every horrible thing that's happened to that people.
Yeah.
As they've risen to the occasion and worked their way through it.
And I mean, like, Israel and their military stuff is a whole other discussion.
Of course.
To be fair,
no, but okay, take a look at the
for someone simply being Jewish,
right? Take a look at the standard American Jew, right?
Your garden variety Jew, your base model Jew,
right? Your Jew LX, they're hardworking people in general. Not to like really widely group them together, but let me do that for a moment. They're hardworking people. They treat their women well. It's fucking.
I don't know a lot of Jewish people, but they've always been perfectly great.
Right. Stop making fun of people for being different than you.
If Borat and Kazakhstan can let go of anti-Semitism,
I finally.
So can you.
I realized too that we're talking about this when our first sketch involves.
Yes, I was thinking that anti-Semitism.
No, he's not. He's vaguely anti-Semitic.
He respects their religion and the right to hold their religion.
She just doesn't like him.
Right. That's not
how fucking funny was that scene in Borat 2 when he
in particular when he goes to the synagogue.
Oh my fuck!
I haven't seen Borat 2 yet.
You really need to see it.
You really need to see it. It's
I know I should.
We're gonna give this early rec. You should go see. You should go see Borat 2. Without spoiling anything, there's a scene where he goes to a synagogue to kill himself by Jew.
Oh my god!
He dresses in disguise as a Jewish person, and it's so fucking funny.
Like the Kazakhstan idea of what Jews are is insanely funny.
It's so funny. It's like a long Pinocchio nose and a bag of cash.
Well, but here's the thing. I guess we're kind of a little bit spoilery.
I know, right? The sweetest part. It's the sweetest part of the movie.
Exactly. It was a moment where like Christy and I both, I think, got kind of misty.
You get a little weepy eyed, yeah,
because he's walked into a synagogue, and the two women that greet him could not be more wonderful people,
warm and welcoming, and
and sadly enough, one of them passed away.
Yeah, they
dedicated the movie to her.
Yeah,
wow.
But it's like this. I mean, keeping in mind that he's Jewish,
he's Jewish himself.
Like it must have actually moved him to some extent as well.
Yeah,
like the way he was received. Just you really gotta see this.
I should see it.
It was great and hilarious, hysterical, fucking hysterical. We're gonna talk about it on Sequelize This at some point. We took a break after post election. It was supposed to come out last week, but we kind of like needed to regroup with the soul of the country at stake. But yeah, it's we're gonna talk about it on Sequelize This at some point. But it's.
Just making sure we're still plugged in over here.
Okay,
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And if you have Prime, it's free. So just watch it on.
Oh, is it now? Okay.
It's free on Prime. Actually,
cool.
That was part of the thing was like getting it published and distributed and all that.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to take the shortcut through Prime because that's like a pretty reliable way to get your movie out. And they had some interesting challenges because they clearly you could tell that like the movie is in two parts more or less.
Yeah,
there's like
pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yes, and you could, but they handled that all really really well. I don't know. I thought it was great.
It was really funny.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Have we anything else for changes? What are we at time wise?
I don't even know. We're only at an hour and a half.
Oh shit, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. God, it's nice to talk to everybody again.
Yeah, isn't it funny how fast time goes when you actually getting to enjoy sitting around and having a conversation again?
I got to admit, man, this feels weird in a good way. But it's definitely weird. It's right. Am I crazy? Does this feel strange?
A bit.
To be doing this again.
To be doing this again?
A little bit.
It does, right? Like, as long as I'm not the only person like feeling that. We're sorry if this isn't funny to you guys, because like we always try and get some laughs on the show, but a lot of times this ends up being like serious discussion.
Well, I mean, we did talk about Alex Trebek putting his finger in Ken Jennings'
I thought it was Ken Jennings. Trebek got the jump on him.
Yeah.
Trebek Weinstein.
It was
Ken Jennings.
It was like
just remember also we don't.
He good. He Kevin Spacey, Ken Jennings.
It was a real like Mexican standoff situation, but with the two of them.
He Charlie Sheen. Ken. Have you heard like the fucking like the Charlie Sheen shit, like the stuff that came out in court documents?
No,
the fucking like horrible shit that he.
I'm not surprised, no matter what you tell me.
Okay, so Charlie Sheen is the most unintentionally horrible, hilarious person ever.
Surely,
there's like so for there was court documents from his divorce.
Make a great prime minister for Italy, honestly.
There's court documents from his divorce where his ex-wife would like come in and just walk in on him naked, drunk, jerking off to like kiddie porn.
No.
And she'd be like, please, Charlie, for the sake of our children, stop doing this.
Oh my God.
This is on court documents.
Okay, I'm actually surprised by this. I take back that I thought I would not be surprised.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, so it's like, please, Charlie, for the sake of our children, stop. And it's on record in court files where he's like, turns to her and goes, go fuck yourself.
Oh my God.
Most horrible.
What a vile piece of shit.
Right. What a horrible response to like the most reprehensible thing you can do.
Look, I'm totally on board with like doing loads of blow and hanging out with hookers and everything.
Yeah.
Child porn's where I draw the line.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
Of course.
That's awful.
And then like things like, like when he was HIV, when we first found out he's HIV positive, he's sleeping with hookers and they're like, they ask him like, are you clean? And he's like, oh yeah, fine. And then there's like one where he like finishes with his hooker and he goes, oh, by the way, I have HIV. Just like, and then chastises her for like being upset about it. Like,
what a rotten piece of shit.
Rotten piece of shit.
Almighty.
It's like the most reprehensible response to like, it's like, I'm sorry.
No,
it's
that's like cartoonishly evil.
It's cartoonish. This is why it's like hilariously funny. Like it's so dark that it's funny to me that this fucking worthless piece of shit exists.
And he's like a villain.
Yeah, right.
Not just like a bad guy, a villain.
Yeah, right. Well, and then he raped Corey Feldman. Do
you think that is?
I do, yeah.
I kind of do
because Corey Haim talked about it like 20 fucking years ago when the first time that they did the reveal.
Yeah,
and Corey Haim was like, oh, I can't say who it is because the actor that did it to Feldman is like known for threatening to kill people, which is fucking Charlie Sheen's MO.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when all that shit dropped, it's like, and then his defense to it wasn't even like, no, I didn't do it. It was like, no, that's just, that's what people in Hollywood do. We just, they have sex with each other, which means that happened to Charlie Sheen at some point, and he's just like, oh, this is normal. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's like so completely bent.
It's like dark and fucked up and but that dude is fucked up, like straight fuck, and still alive somehow.
And you know what? Corey Feldman's also like kind of fucked up, but like for reasons that make perfect sense. But like, he's also like a genuinely batshit person.
Of course, yeah. That's part of you. I mean, understandably so. Like, Hollywood's fucked up, man.
It is.
One of the people I follow on Twitter is Mara Wilson, who famously played Matilda in the movie of the same name.
Yeah.
And she got out of that at like...
She famously played Matilda in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's The Tooth Fairy.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, what was...
I can't say it. Just go on.
I can't. I'm not going to make you say it, but I'm not going to.
Okay, I was thinking Mara Wilson, who famously fucked Corey Feldman.
Oh my god.
Famously.
It just went through my head, and I'm like, that's terrible.
No, but she got out of that business very early on, and has written stuff about it and all, and now does
like real work, like good work.
Yeah. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she is pretty cool.
One change I really wanted to talk about, because I think it's absolutely fascinating.
What's that?
Is the fact that because of COVID and because of everything that has been going on, masks have become kind of a fashion statement.
Of course, yeah.
People get masks with Black Lives Matter or with a logo for their sports teams.
Yep, me.
It's
a couple of them.
It's like a part of the entire outfit now.
Right.
And what was really cool, I thought, was
Beers? Anybody?
so
Thank you.
Shirley Bassey has come up in the news recently. Shirley Bassey, perhaps best known to a lot of us as the woman who sang the theme to Goldfinger.
Finger.
She still looks fucking gorgeous,
Of course,
today.
yeah.
And she plans to release a new album.
No
fairly
shit.
soon. Yeah. But there's this photo of her that's been going around on a couple outlets where she has this gold sequin dress and a matching mask.
Oh,
really?
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, girl, get it.
Yeah, for real, right?
That's a look.
Yeah. And I saw this on Reddit 2 or 3 days ago in I think it was in Old School Cool.
Yeah.
Because there was a photo of
I love
her.
that subreddit.
There was a photo of her in the 60s compared to this photo of her today, which again, she's absolutely gorgeous, and I bet her voice hasn't changed all that much.
Yeah.
But it made me think about how much of a fashion statement and how much of a part of the outfit a mask has become.
Yeah, isn't that weird how people have adapted to that? The more, if I don't want to sound like pretentious, snooty liberal, but the more astute of us in public have kind of just gone along with that pretty well, I think. And sort of just let that be part of your outfit.
It's not a huge deal to wear a mask at all.
No.
Yeah, and it's become part of the outfit. It's something that you can coordinate. You might have multiple masks that you might coordinate with the rest of your outfit.
I do, in fact, actually, which is weird. But yeah.
Well, now that you think about it, I mean, just about anything that becomes something you have to wear all the time people will find a way to have fun with it.
Sure.
Because everything is expression, you know?
Yeah. I thought it was really fascinating the way that has kind of grown into
part of the culture.
Just a routine part of a person's outfit and their personal sense of expression.
My favorite mask that I own, and I don't own a lot of them anyway, is the one that says the hoarding and all the panic caused by COVID-19 is proof of why Americans can't be told what's happening at Area 51.
Yeah.
It just says it in plain English.
It's true.
I only have 2 masks, and they're about as plain as the rest of my outfit. One's green, one's black.
Yeah, right.
That's about it.
I got a Buckeyes one and I got a Bruins one.
That's cool.
I was wearing one of those stretchy nylon ones that go all the way around, but then the CDC said those aren't effective at blocking.
They call them gaiters, right?
Yeah.
So I stopped wearing that. I got myself a real mask.
They call them gators. They're your mask you put on your face that got lizard skin.
They run in the streets.
Yeah.
All throughout Arizona. You got gators just hopping up on construction vehicles, driving them into buildings.
They hang out in the swamps outside Tallahassee, and they'll eat your children. We have to do something about the gator menace in Florida.
That sounds like W. we gotta do something about the gator menace.
I believe that humans and fish can coexist peacefully. Actual Bush quote.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
I didn't know that was a real quote.
I believe humans and fish can coexist peacefully. That's something he actually said.
I was looking at Bushisms the other day. What was the one I sent you? It was OBGYNs need to be free to practice their love with women.
That's a horrible way.
I don't know what he thinks OBGYNs do.
Practice their love.
With women.
With women, Because women walk into the gynecologist's office because they feel a need to be loved.
Now, to give him the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah, that was
I think what he,
I know what he means.
Yeah, he meant that doctors care about their patients by their nature.
Yeah.
Practicing love with cold steel speculum.
But to use that love thing specifically
so
with
funny.
OBGYNs is so weird.
And the thing is, like, all the news outlets who picked that up, like, they would report it, and then you could hear the people behind the camera laughing.
Yeah, just like one guy off in the corner going,
It's so fucking funny. I think my favorite Bushism is we need to come together. The leaders of the world need to come together to stop these terrorist killers. Now watch this drive. And then Bush Jr. had a great golf swing.
Oh, he had fantastic form.
Impeccable golf swing.
Did you see that first pitch he threw out at that baseball game?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Square over the plate.
Yep. Yeah, dude knew what he... Seriously, like, you don't have to agree with his politics, but of all the presidents in my lifetime, that's the one I want to have a beer with the most.
I keep thinking about...
I want to smoke a joint with George W. Bush.
At Trump's inauguration, where it was reported that he basically turned to, I want to say Michelle Obama.
Yeah, they're like super like tight.
Yeah, he turned
like,
to her after Trump finished speaking and went, that was some weird shit. Which it was.
Yeah,
He was talking about this insane vision of an American carnage that's destroying our whole country. Which
was some weird shit.
And Bush actually turned to Michelle Obama and said that was some weird shit.
Some weird shit.
Bush, who did like 4 big bong rips before the inauguration, like get Visine in his eyes in the limo on the way there.
Former President George W. Bush is passing you the boof. Do you accept?
Of course.
Yes.
You're damn right I do. It's so fucking funny. Like,
yeah, the thing is, okay, so like,
that was some weird shit. I could hear him.
That was some weird shit.
So funny.
I don't want to minimize like the damage that the Bush administration did to us, because I do think that they did,
or to the Middle East.
Yeah, right. Like to like the world, but like also as a human being, independent of politics or beliefs. W doesn't seem like he would be too unfun to hang out with.
Doesn't seem like a bad guy. Seems like I want to have a barbecue with him.
And that feels insane to say.
I know.
Because, man.
Talk about changes, right?
It did not feel like that back then.
No, it didn't. It felt horrible.
Sure didn't.
But the one good thing that's going to come from this, I think, is that hopefully there will be some air of bipartisanship somewhere.
Well, there's level setting now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything, but like during the Bush era, it was not uncommon to see people with signs that said Bush is a Nazi.
Yeah.
Now, George W. Bush
is not a Nazi.
It's not a fucking Nazi.
Not a Nazi. No.
I mean, they really did damage.
Yeah.
But not a Nazi.
Not a Nazi.
Then we got the real Nazis and the guy who also might not be a Nazi, but is super comfortable playing around with Nazis.
Yeah.
Does that mean something? Has the level moved?
Yeah. George Bush, with open arms, welcomed a black president-elect into his White House.
Yeah, graciously.
And then became friends with his wife, which is like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
I think one thing I'm noticing too is like between the occasional spats that like the old guard Democrats are having with like the new blood.
Yeah.
And then also the Republicans that are willing to accept the Trump loss and the Republicans that aren't. I think we're starting to see like half of each party shifting more towards bipartisan and half going in a different direction.
I think you're right.
And that's going to be, at the very least, it'll be interesting.
Because we still have two visions of America. Even though we elected a president based on a vision of America, we still have two visions. But it's not Biden's vision and Trump's vision, really.
No.
The two visions of America I see are we going to put all of that behind us, you know, or are we going to continue to demonize and isolate and be more and more radical? Like, which direction are we going to go?
Yeah.
I don't think that was exactly Biden's message, but it's close. It's close.
Yeah. My father said something to me when we went out for lunch last week, and it was basically the day after they had called the election. He said something along the lines of, he said, I genuinely believe that when we are at our lowest and worst, we become our strongest. And I think that has been historically true, and I really, really, truly hope that that's true now.
I think it can be.
I think it can be too.
It doesn't that's the thing, though. That's what I mean. Is we will not necessarily become the embodiment of our better angels.
I don't think so either. But
we are being asked to.
It has to be. It has to be better than what we've seen.
Yeah.
You can't like Republican or Democrat, liberal, hyper conservative. You can't look at all this and think that it's good that people are just fighting with each other all the time.
I think even the fucking Republicans that are like really tight with Trump don't really want to live like this. Isn't that the real question? Is do we want to live like this?
Yeah.
Like, do we want everything to have to be a knockdown, drag out fight?
Yeah, a battle.
You know, because like this is how wars are conducted against other nations,
right?
Not how a nation should talk to itself,
right? Yeah, it's scary, and it's like, you know, it feels like for the first time, you know, if they would have put another Republican up against him,
yeah,
and that Republican would have won. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like up against
Trump?
Like if the Republicans had run another candidate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say we had another Republican in the office. Someone like Kasich, right? Okay, I'm just gonna throw him out because he's from Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he makes a lot of sense too. It's kind of a Trump antithesis.
Yeah, that would still be as fresh of a breath of air as Joe Biden is now to a lot of us.
I actually agree,
because
I understand what you're saying.
You don't have to agree with all the policy, but it's a person that you don't feel uncomfortable with leading the country.
Sure,
someone without the demeanor of a seventh grader. It's someone who takes his job very seriously, and
there are hyper liberals, like very liberal people that I now find maybe I wouldn't vote for president.
Yeah, like in a lot of ways.
Now, if Kasich had the White House, I would vastly prefer Democrats to have a majority in both chambers of Congress.
Yeah.
As the trade-off.
Sure,
but and that would
and you would probably get that with the way that the country is trended, like voting.
Yeah, and I feel like with Kasich, efforts at bipartisanship between him and Congress would
be very close.
Would work.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here's the thing that continues to bother and haunt me. And I said this before the election, and I still feel like it. Setting aside the fact that there are Republicans I find now weirdly in 2020 that I don't dislike because of how far the needle has moved.
That's a good thing, I think, by the way.
Yes, but I also want the Republican Party to ache for 20 years for what it allowed
to happen.
Sure.
Yeah. I would love to have five straight Democratic terms.
Yeah. Yes. That's 20 years.
At best, that's 2.5 presidents.
I mean, I don't think it will happen that way, but it's just it seems to me like such an abdication of that role of citizenship that they allowed this to get this bad.
A cult of celebrity worship, and then that celebrity turns out to be a white supremacist.
Yep, they took
which is something we had been saying for a year before the election.
Sure,
they elevated a useful idiot, and they underestimated how much he could do.
Devil's advocate, almost the same way that a lot of conservatives felt about Jimmy Carter when Carter got put in the 70s. Carter, for a lot of people, was like a do-nothing kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think Carter's a bad guy. I don't think he was the greatest president we've ever had.
Nah.
Which is why Reagan won all but one states.
And they made him give up his peanut farm.
They did. They
took his peanut farm away.
Yeah. And then here, there's all these businesses that Trump and his kids are running.
Yeah.
And they don't do a single goddamn thing about it. For some reason, those aren't conflicts of interest.
Well, the problem is
Jimmy Carter's peanut farm was.
They knew they could get away with it. That's the difference. Is
because they're fucking hypocrites.
It's a different kind of politic, and if it was any other Republican, I think there would have been a greater push against that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he that's the scariest thing about this is it's a new dawn in politics where you can.
What happens next?
What happens next? He sets so many dangerous precedents about what you can and cannot get away with, politics wise.
Unwritten rules that are shattered.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I'm gonna be the moderate voice of reason here. I think that there's some people on the left who are just as bad with their message as you know what I mean.
I never thought it would feel that way.
It's a hard message to sell to a country that, still has a lot of people who remember I Like Ike.
Right.
Or a lot of people who are still fans of Ronald Reagan.
Right.
That's a tough message to sell if you're that far left.
Sure.
And
damn what you feel about Reagan, but at least Reagan was presidential. And I have no love for Ronald Reagan or that administration.
No, fuck him.
But by comparison,
the
needle has moved so much,
right?
That by comparison, people like this start to feel like a decent option.
Yeah,
and I think that says way more about Donald Trump's presidency than it says about those presidencies.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So speaking of change, y'all notice how you have to pay with exact change because there's no coins.
No coins.
Is that still happening?
I think that's wacky. I think it's getting a little. I think that's getting.
It's time better for Ben's wacky coin corner.
Someone had to lighten the mood.
Yeah, right. No, it's been a politics heavy episode.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing as many signs. I think it's getting a little better.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I haven't paid with change in forever, and I rarely pay in cash.
Can I tell you all something?
No, I have a debit card. Fuck it.
I'm completely cool with the death of the coin in the American currency
Round
system.
them all down.
Round them all down.
I don't care. Make it an even number.
Can we get rid of them? Can we just get the bills and get this over with?
You know what? You know what? Someone pointed out to me recently is that rounding up that you can do for like charity.
Yeah,
it's not you giving to charity; it's the corporation. Giving to charity.
Of course. Yeah,
and then they get sweet tax breaks.
I've been saying this bullshit for years because I worked at Best Buy for 7 fucking years.
And that had never occurred to me.
Those fucking liberal back patent pieces of fucking shit.
Yeah, heard
They're like, we donated, and then the one year I worked there, they were supposed to stop it.
No. It has nothing to do with liberals or conservatives. It has to do with businesses taking
the money,
taking those donations, donating it, and getting tax breaks.
But Best Buy is a liberal business. That's why I'm pointing that out specifically. They fucking the 1 year. They extended the deadline of donations by a month specifically so they could beat the previous year's donation record. I'm not fucking shitting you. I worked there and watched it happen.
Yeah.
Those fucking pieces of shit. And then they're like, oh, look what we did for St. Jude's. It's like, you didn't fucking do it.
No, it's
the people that came and bought stuff at your store did it, and then you took credit for it so you could get tax breaks.
Yeah, right.
You fucking idiot.
And that had never occurred to me before.
And
now I'm
which is why I don't fucking donate to them.
Yeah, if you really want to do something,
donate directly.
Donate directly.
That's the thing. Send a $20 bill to St. Jude's, and you will have already done more than you're going to do with all your purchases anyway.
Yeah, Aubrey and I usually, whenever we see something that's like, oh, that's so nice, we'll donate directly.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that had never occurred to me, and I feel like a fool for not seeing that before.
Well, they know that. They count on you to not figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, I figured that out like my second or third year into Best Buy. I'm like, wait a fucking minute, because they put the company newsletter out every year, and they're like, oh, we gave $40 million to St. Jude's, and it's like, you didn't fucking give anything.
You had people round up to the nearest dollar and get all of those coins,
because they didn't like match donations or anything. At least for the first few years I was there, they just took people's money and gave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't fucking do that. The American people did that, and then you took credit for it.
God,
yeah,
the tax system is fucked.
It is fucked.
Just allowing
it's completely and totally fucked.
Because this is not only extremely legal, it is smiled upon by everybody.
Of course.
Why is it
because
like this?
it's charity. It's charity.
I had someone try to tell me once that fucking the reason why Donald Trump wasn't paying anything in taxes for 10 years is because he donates so much to charity.
Oh, like, what are you fucking talking?
Are you fucking stupid? Look at him.
Yeah, right.
His charities, which don't do anything, maybe.
Right.
God, I cannot. Because here's the thing: there's going to come a day, I feel like, and it won't be that long, before a lot of things that were previously kept very quiet
are going to come out.
Are going to be public. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily want to totally root for like a public flogging of anybody, but man, this dude deserves some shit to see the light of day.
Tar and feather.
Do you remember when Gaddafi got publicly dragged through the streets?
On the hood of a car.
On the hood of a car?
Beaten and spit on by his own people.
Do you remember that? Do you remember how good that looked?
It was a great day.
What a great photograph that was.
I have a
I'm just saying.
I have a video I got to show you guys because the way it's edited is so great. But I think it was Matt Getz.
Yeah. Gates.
Trumpet player Stan Getz.
No, it's Getz, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so. But
that DUI having piece of shit.
But he makes a reference to Gaddafi, and I got to show it to you because the way it's edited is so funny.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember I feel like I was working at GM at the time.
Beers?
I'm good. I remember seeing like the news of that circulating and being like, oh yeah, normally you wouldn't celebrate someone being so publicly tortured.
But when that dude,
it's Muammar Gaddafi.
It's Muammar Gaddafi.
That dude tortured his country.
Of course,
yeah. Fuck him.
They sat on international aid. They sat on shit. They collected it for themselves. They hoarded and they punished the people of their country.
Yeah,
you deserved it.
You would feel bad. Like that photo is so. It's tremendously horrendous if that guy's not a piece of shit.
Right, if he's not Muammar Gaddafi.
Because it's like some guy took this photo on his camera phone of him pinned up against the hood of a car with somebody raising a shoe over his head. And he looks fucking terrified.
Well, he knows exactly what's about to happen
to him.
Yeah. I wish we had pictures of Bin Laden.
I know, don't you?
I wish we had a sad picture of him sitting there with his hands tied with a zip tie on a boat.
Yep.
Waiting to get ditched at sea.
Yep. God, don't you just relish in the fact? I remember they showed on cable television, cable news one time when it happened. They got 144p cell phone footage of Saddam Hussein swinging.
Oh, I remember that.
And they showed it on M. I remember I woke up at 4:30 in the morning to take a leak.
Yeah.
And my dad was always up at 4 o'clock in the morning for some reason. That's just, when old people's sleep schedule.
Right.
Dad was up at 4 in the morning. I went to take a leak and I went in, I was like walking past his bedroom because I would always spend the weekends at his place. And I walked past his bedroom. I'm like, hey, what are you doing up? What are you watching? He's like, oh, they're about to hang Saddam Hussein. They got footage of it.
Oh,
and I'm
cool.
like, oh, cool. And I went inside and watched that piece of shit swing.
The thing is, what you see most in that video is his shadow.
Yeah, it's a shadow.
And that's enough.
That's good enough. It's fine.
Fine.
The guy who, and like, you take political affiliation out of it. You watch a guy who just tortured his same thing.
Yeah.
Tortured his people for so
Chemical
long.
weapons and the whole shebang.
And he cast such a dark shadow on that section of the world for so long that it was like, doesn't matter. Nothing brings Americans together like watching some worthless bastard piece of shit
dictator
eat it.
Just bite it.
And they showed it one time on national news at 4:30 in the morning, and then you never saw it
I'm
again.
sure you can find it on YouTube.
You can find it now. Yeah, it's easier to find out. But they showed it one time. You got to watch that bastard swing.
Yep.
And it was just, it was a, you get this patriotic boner that just rises up in you when you see shit like that.
Yeah. Well, you don't get it a lot. You don't often get that kind of justice.
When Obama came out and said, we got him.
I was just about to say, same feeling when Obama parachuted into Afghanistan and just
single-handedly,
just like
mission accomplished.
Like Christian Bale in Equilibrium, just like
just ran up walls and
shooting everyone in the compound, and then walking up to Obama or Osama bin Laden.
Obama finds Obama finally.
Just rips his testicles off with his bare hands.
Yes.
Talk about No Nut November.
Yeah, there's nothing that gives you a freedom boner quite like watching a piece of shit bastard fucking swing from the gallows.
That's the thing is it shouldn't be as I don't know, maybe it should.
Cathartic as it should.
Yeah.
It's look, human beings are primal at their
nice.
Thank you. At their very core. I had to pause, let that breathe a little.
Four from the French judge.
Human beings are very primal at their core, so it's nice to.
You still enjoying your fart?
Sorry.
It was pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to turn out on the audio.
Oh, it will be audible to all.
We're very primal and we're very. Sorry. We're very
We just love to see justice.
We like to see justice, and we'd like to see murder.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's nice to get a little dose of that every now and then.
Yeah.
And there's nobody I can think of. I mean, Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-un is the only one I can think of right now that would be like, you know,
I thought for sure that guy was going to die.
you kind of want to watch that fat piece of shit strapped naked to a missile paraded across Kim Jong-il Square or Kim Il-sung Square. And
Tied up with the body pillow, the anime body pillow that we all know he has.
yeah. Just strapped to a nuclear warhead and then launched into space as it falls and falters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's people who truly deserve to meet their reckoning.
Sure.
You know?
I think most people would agree with that. And if you're not, you're a filthy hippie communist and
Yeah, I don't know. I just
fucking lefty piece of shit.
I wish just to be a fly on the wall for when they dragged Osama bin Laden out.
Yeah, just
I was actually looking because I think it was I can't remember what documentary I was watching where they were talking about like where they found him. You can pull the compound up on Google Maps.
Yeah.
You can look at it, and it's in Pakistan, and it's in a town.
Yeah.
Not that far away from like a military academy and shit like that, and it's just right in the middle of the town.
Yeah.
Just a walk away from a convenience store kind of thing.
Right.
And it's like he was just chilling in relative, you know, I mean, I'm sure the people in town had to know. I don't know. Who knows?
It's always poetic to see these guys bite it in such unglamorous ways.
That's really kind of it.
You know what I mean? Saddam Hussein swung in a room with like 20 people in it. You know what I mean?
But I mean, for bin Laden, like, what could be more glamorous than getting your brains blown out by the Navy SEALs?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
pretty glamorous.
He died in a fucking shithole though. Like he did.
They dumped him in. They dumped him in the ocean.
They dumped him in the ocean. Like he was.
That's no. They like that was supposed to be like a traditional like
that was just to
Afghani
avoid
burial.
starting like a fucking other war somehow.
Right.
It was like give him like a tradition, like a religiously approved burial at sea.
Yeah, they blew his head off and then threw him in the Pacific. Is what happened.
Okay.
I'm still not even really convinced that they had the right people on that boat.
I'm not either. Yeah.
Because you're supposed to have someone there to like bless the thing, and then you can have like a burial at sea, and it's totally cool.
Yeah. Even someone like Pablo Escobar, who cast such a dark shadow over Colombia for so long.
Yeah.
He got chased through the streets and across rooftops in this small town, and then fucking murdered. Like they shot him full of holes on a rooftop, and he died like running away.
Yeah.
Like dirty and on the run, and not impoverished, but like
Not comfortable.
but like living in squalor because they were he pissed so many people off in the Colombian government and the United States that they fucking chased him out of his mansion and like gunned him down in cold blood on a rooftop in the middle of nowhere. And they took glamour photos of him with holes in his body in a corner on a rooftop. Like, you know, you could like look at photos of him just fucking Swiss cheesed.
This is making me want to play Hitman again.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of the three-headed serpent.
Yeah. Great mission.
I wonder how long it is until El Chapo tunnels his way out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, he's already gotten away so many damn times.
Yeah, he ain't getting out of the U.S.
I don't think so, but you never know with that guy.
Out of the U.S.
He's
I
he's
doubt
like Bugs
that.
Bunny.
Yeah,
He just keeps figuring it out.
yeah.
So anyway,
Do we have anything else? I think we padded the stats here.
We sure have. We're over 2 hours here,
Yeah.
so maybe it's time to take a
Call
break
it.
and talk recommendations of what we learned.
yeah.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
You know,
felt
just
good.
talking about the death of brutal dictators,
Brutal dictators,
bodies full of holes, and
Trebek's figures.
Mara Wilson, and how she
Yeah,
traumatized Corey Feldman. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Oh, thanks, Reggie, for keeping us safe.
Oh yeah, thank you.
We now return to yet another edition of Vaguely Mafiosa Pizza.
Hey, y'all, how y'all doing?
Not bad. What you doing
It's a
there?
pizza shop, Brad. I walk into a pizza shop, correct?
Well, you see the big sign up there that says pizza shop. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got the big slice. That's right. I saw the big slice from the street come
Yeah.
in, won't get me a big slice.
That's why we put it up there. You got a fucking problem?
No, I just got me a hankering for the big slice.
Well, I guess you're in the right place. What can I get you?
What y'all fellas got on the menu?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pizza.
What you put on your pizzas?
Well, what do you fucking want on it?
Nah, I don't know what you put on your pizzas. You tell me something, I make a choice.
Well, I got lamb and peanuts. I got capers and Smucker's jelly.
Ooh.
I got black olives and more black olives and more black olives. That's the black olive special.
That's a lot of olives.
It sure is.
It's too many.
I agree.
Boss, don't forget to tell him about our mayonnaise and banana special.
Oh yeah, we got the mayonnaise and banana special. That's Frankie's new thing.
It's
How you doing, Frankie?
doing all right. The mayo and bananas. My nana used to cook it in my childhood. You see.
Yeah, see, Frankie, I come in here because I seen the sign and got the big slash.
Yeah.
I want to get me a big slash.
Well, you want some bananas and mayonnaise? Or?
Something like a normal kind of pizza, like a human being would consume.
Whoa! Are you disrespecting my nana's cooking?
Yeah. What the
My
fuck?
meemaw?
Yeah,
What do you got against this meemaw?
yeah,
What do you got against my nana?
fellas, I understand I'm a guest here in this pizza establishment. I just want me a normal big slash.
What do you want on the slice?
Are you saying we ain't normal just because we Italians, huh?
You want capers? You want peanut butter? You want dog hair? What do you want?
Well, you keep going.
I got dirt, worms. I got gravel.
Yeah.
I got tire fluid.
Let's,
We got avocados, I think.
Yeah, we just made some avocados. You want some avocado
yeah,
pizza?
it sounds pretty nice.
We got human meat.
Human meat.
Granddad used to call it long pig.
Long pig. That's a menacing image.
It sure is. Hey, what part of the country are you even from? I can't quite pinpoint your accent.
That come from over to the southwest-ish, east-north-ish
Yeah.
of the middle of the prairie plains.
Yeah, I would have never guessed
I
that.
live underneath the stars in an open pontoon boat
Yeah.
in the middle of the desert.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Lugged it out there myself.
Nice.
Yep, found it by a dried up old lake.
Sir, I gotta ask you to place an order if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, placing an order or what? Come on.
Don't insult his nana.
Come on, give me some fucking work and
You know who you're talking to? This is Frankie, the newly reformed former anti-Semite.
don't insult my mima. Don't insult my hoo-ha.
Far be it from me, gentlemen, to insult your hoo-hows.
But what are you fucking ordering?
Y'all got bacon?
No, we're kosher. He's a newly reformed anti-Semite. We don't do that.
That's a damn shame. Y'all got Gila Monster on the menu?
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like me some Gila Monster.
You want extra Gila Monster for $1 more?
Well, as much as you can put. I want you to stack that pie clear to the ceiling with Gila Monster, cram it in that oven, and bake it good.
Well, I think I could just put a whole Gila Monster on top of your pizzas. That
In
sound-
slices, please.
In slices?
In slices.
Do you want it all formed up together like it's one piece and then it slides apart, or do you want it all mixed
I
and
want
matching?
you to slice the Gila Monster into several segments, then rearrange them in the shape of the Gila Monster on top of the pie.
All right.
So here's what I'm gonna do, boss. I'm gonna go out back to the Gila Monster pen.
That sounds promising.
Here's what I'm gonna do, boss. I'm gonna show those Gila Monsters what for, and you don't mess with Tony Lucchese's fucking pizza galaxy. And I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna teach those smart ass Gila Monsters not to fuck with Tony Lucchese. Okay?
That's right.
With respect, Mr. Lucchese.
Oh,
Gila Monsters do have a disrespectful attitude, and it is best to keep them in line.
We all know that Gila Monster is best served fresh.
Absolutely.
Right? You got it.
We all know this.
So
all know that.
I'm gonna take my 15-pound bowling ball and I'm gonna stun one of them.
No, perfect.
And while it's still breeding, I'll do the slicing and I'll do the cooking, and I'll serve this man a pizza he can never refuse.
Why this man brings his 15-pound bowling ball to his pizza shop, we will never know.
Boy,
It's
he's a
the
good
best
ball.
way to stun the Gila Monsters.
The best way to cope with his former anti-Semitism.
Yes.
Bludgeoning animals to death with a bowling ball certainly does release a mighty amount of rage.
My Meemaw taught me the technique.
It'll be 1650, sir.
I'll show the smart-ass Gila Monsters a thing or two.
He'll be just a moment.
1650. Well, that sounds about fair. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
No problem. We'll have that pizza up for you in the next, 30 minutes.
All right.
Boss! moths! The Gila monsters got out. They all got out.
Damn it, not again.
I left the door open too long. I'm sorry, Mr. Lucchese.
It's okay.
Let me get my wrangling stick. Hold on.
All right, just a minute. So your pizza's gonna take a
Man's got
little
a
while.
wrangling stick.
Yeah, we got to get one of those.
I'm a simple desert man, and I carry a wrangling stick everywhere I go.
Oh, hold on. You don't happen to have a mask on you, do you? Because you're going to have to put one on.
That's a good point. I've been living outside civilization so long, I don't even really know how to coexist with people.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a lonely life on a pontoon boat in the middle of the desert by yourself, eating Gila monsters and sucking cactuses.
Boss, they're in the trash. They're eating the trash.
Oh, damn it, not again. We got to save that for toppings. Oh, God, why did I do that? God damn it.
Hey, you know what? You haven't done that on mic in a
No, I'm
while.
fucking out of practice.
Your throat muscles that you use to make that horrible sound.
I need to drink more beer. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Loosen myself up a little.
Oh my goodness.
Lovely.
Ooh, that was good.
Gorgeous.
Oh, that was meaty.
Yeah, it was a nice meaty burp. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
All right.
Good.
Okay. laughing my ass off at Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, there's some pretty good. There's some pretty solid memes going around right now,
Yeah.
and we didn't really talk that much about them. But I'm gonna tell you, like in the early days of 2016, everyone was like, "Oh, the left can't meme."
Yeah, that's not true.
That is not true.
That has never been true.
The left has memed pretty well lately.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty great since like 2000 or so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's like a, I don't know, there's like kind of like cringe memes,
Oh yeah,
but then
always
there's like,
been cringe memes.
but the left really can meme.
Oh, of course.
The
The right cannot meme.
no, not
They're
at all.
really bad.
Sometimes they meme fairly well, I think. I just don't like their point of view.
Yeah, I just disagree with them.
I just don't like it.
Oh God, what was I gonna say? One of my favorites going around is like I'm never gonna stop laughing about the Four Seasons thing.
Yeah.
like
Oh my
like I'll be laughing as they're lowering me into the ground at my funeral. Like the Four Seasons thing is so fucking hilarious.
It was like legitimately like one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It broke you a little
It
bit.
did. I think I said it was like that episode of South Park where Cartman sees something so funny that he can't laugh anymore.
Yep.
That was like my reaction was like, oh my God, this is like actually for people who don't know what this is like the Trump campaign, they wanted to book a press conference at the Four Seasons, but the campaign booked the wrong Four Seasons.
I saw a sequence of events which made more sense than this, actually.
okay, yeah.
Here's what I saw someone propose, and it makes a lot of sense. They all know they're going to book the Four Seasons Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Trump tweets it publicly. Press conference at the Four Seasons. Then they call the Four Seasons, and they say, we're not having you here.
Yeah.
So then they have a choice. Either, like, new venue or make it look like it was always meant to be that other Four Seasons.
the landscaping
The
company
landscaping
on the
business.
outskirts of Philadelphia,
So they call them,
across the street from an adult bookstore.
and the owners are like, sure, I mean, I guess, if you, I mean, we're open.
Yeah.
And then they do. So that's the sequence that makes the most sense to me is it wasn't that they got it wrong in the first place. It was a face-saving move because
Yeah.
they were told no by their chosen venue.
It's like the fact that like that actually happened and that Rudy Giuliani
And Eric Trump
and Eric
had
Trump
to stand in a dirty parking lot in the shitty industrial area of Philadelphia, steps away from a porno shop, a place that people really don't go.
It's like an episode of Parks and Rec, but with a cast that you fucking hate.
It's so absurd.
It's amazing.
It's so I mean it's just like
Rudy Giuliani had to get driven there in a motorcade.
yeah.
They had Secret Service protection to stand around them in a dirty parking lot.
It's like and it's like it's one of those things where you hear it for the first time and then you're like, no. Like, come on, no.
can't be
There's no
real.
way that's just a joke, right?
I didn't believe it.
I didn't either.
I would also like to mention that Four Seasons Total Landscaping in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, has 3.5 stars on Google. So they're okay. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I would consider them. Give them your patronage for your landscaping.
They're currently selling merchandise like "Make America Rake Again."
That's perfect.
Fucking gotta love them.
Brilliant.
So one of the funnier things that has come out of this as well is that someone recreated that parking lot in VR chat, and it's populated by furries naturally.
Of course it is.
With the Trump signs of the podium in the scene as well, naturally.
Isn't it just somehow like a perfectly fitting end to a thoroughly incompetent administration?
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, it's again, I like I'll be 6 feet. Every once in a while, I'll wake up from the dead and start laughing about it again, and then die again.
Yeah. It's really funny. I mean, it's legitimately funny.
You know what we haven't even talked about on this podcast?
What's that?
The fact that Joe Biden is no longer abandoned in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it on the podcast. But there
Nice
was
and cozy, Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah.
the series of fundraising emails I got from Stop
Which,
Republicans.
Incidentally, is where I was born.
Yeah,
really?
right.
Yeah, I was born in Wilmington. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that is the
We
town
talked
of my
about it
birth.
on the podcast before.
I forgot that.
Yeah, he was born in Delaware. The
Yeah.
most interesting state.
The first state.
The first state, you're right, as a matter of fact.
First state to ratify the documents of union or whatever. The paperweight you had to sign to make yourself a state.
Right.
Gosh, did we even talk about so? No, we didn't. So like in the midst of all this other stuff, like, what is it? Which state is it? Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, which was their full name.
Yeah.
They voted to change it and remove the Providence Plantations part from their official state name.
Yeah.
And Mississippi changed their fucking flag.
changed your state
And
flag,
it looks
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
The new flag is good.
It's no longer a racist looking flag.
Yeah.
A couple of good things happened in there and no one talked about.
It's like a white lily surrounded by a bunch of stars
It's
with a
the
gold
state
star
flower,
on, it-
yeah, it's
on,
the
it-
state
on the top.
flower.
Yeah.
And then it says "In God We Trust" on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's blue background flanked by a narrow yellow stripe followed by two broad red
Red
stripes.
stripes,
So it's
yeah.
vertical. Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
fantastic
It's
looking
a
flag.
classy flag.
There's if you ever want to get into it and look at there's a guy, I can't remember his name, who makes it his business to like look up and share shitty flags.
Yeah.
Like from like towns and like little municipalities and stuff, like the ugliest flags in America. It's
Our flag rocks.
Yeah, our
Ohio's
flag's pretty
flag?
good.
We're rebels. We did it different. We made it like a pennant.
Yeah, it's very classic.
It's a pretty cool flag.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got the classic colors and everything.
And the best part, there's no fucking stars and bars in it.
No.
Nope, it's just stripes and a symbol for the Buckeye.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's nice and simple. It's classic, and it's got a cool shape.
Yep. And it's a great way to stay in shape.
Do we want to talk recommendations?
Yes.
The thing is, I should have more of them. I'm kind of limited.
Ooh, I got some recommendations.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? Or I can jump in with something.
Why don't you jump in, because I got to look this up real
Yeah.
quick.
All right, so this is one, and I know if Dan is listening, he probably would also, I know because he's endorsed this himself, but Auntie Donna's new show is on Netflix, and it is, in fact, really funny.
I bet.
I watched 3 episodes. He kind of said to me the other night, he's like, he was told, maybe watch one and then take a break. Like, people are recommending don't just binge it all straight. But I kind of couldn't help myself. So I watched like half the show. It's exactly like if you've been watching their YouTube sketches for a while, you know exactly what you're getting.
Sure.
It's exactly what you expect from Auntie Donna. It's super funny. Ed Helms is an executive producer and he pops up in it. There's a weird gag where like he realizes the people have been getting his name wrong and his name is actually Egg Helms.
Egg Helms.
Yeah. I don't know. This is like some really silly gags. Scott Aukerman is briefly in it in at least one episode. It's classic Auntie Donna.
Yeah.
The concept is Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun or something like that. And it's like another, how they do these things where it's like, oh, it's The Office in 1999.
Right, yeah.
They season
have
of
like
sketches.
themes of sketches. You're right. Yeah.
So that's this one. It's just the Big Old House of Fun.
Right.
Some of the stuff seems a little bit lifted from their live show.
Yeah.
But like repurposed for the
Well,
show. Which is fine.
That's fine.
Because it's still very funny.
Monty Python made Serious Bank just refilming a bunch of their most beloved sketches from Flying Circus and packaging it as something completely different.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Now, here's something completely different.
Something completely different.
Arthur Two Sheds Jackson.
This is a great weird joke.
I was like singing, I was like whistling, always look on the bright side of life. I was like whistling, my wife was like, what the fuck are you whistling?
They sang that at Graham Chapman's funeral,
They did,
adorably
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Aw.
What's the thing John Cleese says?
Good riddance to the filthy bastard. I hope he fries.
Yeah.
What a great.
Yeah, it's because the whole audience is captivated and very serious, like while he's giving that eulogy, and then they all just burst out at once.
It's like that moment of catharsis.
I hope he fries.
Yeah, but New Antigona is really good. I might have another one, but you know what? Unlike how we typically do, I'm just going to pass it off and maybe I'll think of another one and bring it back.
All right.
I got one for you.
Yes.
I'm going to recommend an album that I meant to recommend several months ago when I first went through and re-listened to this band's entire discography. It was like shortly after I lost my job and I was painting. I was helping my uncle paint his new house.
Yeah.
He moved back in town. He bought a second house back in town. And we were repainting everything and like just getting everything in order for them. And I went through and I listened to the entire discography, top to bottom, including the most recent album of the Dutch band De Staat.
Yes. Yes.
De Staat, which is Dutch for the state, which is a band whose music is pretty transparently about common world popular culture and the state of humanity as it pertains to political, leanings and ideas and pop culture in general.
They're kind of a band with something to say.
Yes, founded by in like 2009 by frontman Tore Florum.
A Torflarum.
Torum, Torre.
God bless you.
Right. Who is like incredibly fucking handsome. He's a dapper looking gentleman.
Good looking dude.
Hell yeah.
The album I'm going to recommend is their second album. It's called Machinery. The one really cool thing about this band is that every record that they make sounds very different than the last record that they've done, but it is unmistakably still the Staats. They have a very keen sound that is very grindy, electronic, industrial.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Very, very industrial kind of sound.
Like they have an aesthetic, maybe.
They have an aesthetic. Machinery is maybe their most heavy record of all the ones that I listen to, which is maybe why it's my favorite, because it's very, very aggressive.
Is Sweatshop on this one?
Sweatshop is on this one. That's my favorite
song.
Destat song.
Yeah.
The whole record is like that. Very, very loud, very clangy. Destat's music, no matter what record you listen to, is very percussive. A lot of low end stuff, a lot of very fuzzy kind of sounds.
Yeah, so turn that shit up.
Turn that shit way up. It sounds really good on a good sound system, cranked all the way.
Yeah. Oh, I should listen to them in my car tomorrow
You
morning.
should, yeah.
Way to start the day.
They are currently very much on hold because of COVID, but very active in there because they've gained such a following. I think probably because of the big song that everybody knows is Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
Because that music video is great.
I remember I first became aware of them because of a Reddit post on r/WTF.
Yeah.
Where a guy was looking for Alvin and the Chipmunks Witch Doctor
heard
to
the
play
Witch
for his
Doctor.
like
He told me what to
5-year-old
do.
daughter.
Yeah.
And stumbled across Destat instead.
The fuck is this?
And everyone in the comments was like,
this is
this
good.
fucking rules.
This is really good. Yeah. That song is about like if you really like look at the lyrics, it's about Witch Doctor is meant to be like the cure-all kind of people who are selling manufactured cures for things on television. You know what I mean? They're like
It's a comment on like commercialism and
like the goop people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Distrust the white coats, come and get your fix.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's not about the numbers or what you feel is real.
Right.
Yeah.
Open the mind, change the mind. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So like that's what most people know because that's the popular video and like, or I say popular in quotes because it's still like a very subgenre kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're like super mainstream, but they have a following.
But they do have a following, and you should dig into it a little bit. I think Machinery is, if you're into a little heavier stuff, I think it's one of the more. They're all accessible records. They're all their records are very accessible. Yeah, I think Machinery is my favorite, so I'm gonna say listen to that one.
Awesome.
And I'm going to pass it off to Ben if he's got anything.
Yeah, I have two. I just recently learned, as in yesterday, that 13, originally released for the PlayStation 2, is on Steam for like $3.
Yes.
They're remaking it, and you know what? No more cell shading.
Yeah, right.
Everyone looks like a fucking Fortnite character.
Normal person. Yeah.
Actually, don't know what 13 is.
So 13 was
Let's see if I can find the art style.
super underrated game for the PlayStation 2 that uses like a cell shading sort of thing to make it look like a comic book.
There was like a big sort of I don't know. I guess you could say like a price starting with like maybe Jet Set Radio or something.
Maybe
There was like a lot of cell shaded games.
Yeah.
During this like period of like the early 2000s.
But it's important because it began its life as a comic, as like a graphic novel.
Jet Set pulled it off though.
And then
this was 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So anyway, the talk of the remake got me talking in a Discord about man, I wish I could play it again. And someone said, it's $5 on Steam, but it's on sale right now. So I went ahead and bought it and installed it yesterday.
So it is on Steam.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I had written PS2 and I'm like, well, I don't have a PS2.
13 incidentally is written as Roman numerals, an X followed by 3 eyes.
Okay.
It's like a conspiracy, almost like Born Identity, like a conspiracy thriller where you have lost your memory. The main character is voiced by David Duchovny, for instance.
Interesting.
There's a supporting character voiced by Adam fucking West. And you're caught up in a conspiracy because apparently people seem to think that you assassinated the president of the United States.
Okay.
And it just gets weirder from there.
Interesting.
It's such a cool fucking game. And I'm really excited to play it again because
it's $5.
It's $5 normally. It's on sale right now for like $2 and change.
I feel like I have to buy it for that.
Yeah, dude, it's really fun. It's super fun. It really apes this comic style. There's like, sound effect onomatopoeia that, comes up with certain actions that you do.
Yeah.
If you score a headshot on someone, it does like a rapid 3-panel thing of like the person getting like,
oh, that's cool.
Getting their, the goon getting his head blasted off. It's so cool, and I really highly recommend it if you enjoy your single player first person shooter experiences. Plenty to collect too, plenty of exploration to be done.
I think that.
And if you're like me and you love conspiracy fiction, and you're a fan of the Born Identity, that kind of movie, you'll really enjoy 13. My other recommendation is something that I talked to you guys about last night, and I kind of wish I hadn't because it kind of spoiled it. But it's a game called Hot Lava.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's designed to be just such a nostalgia trip. The idea is the floor is lava.
Sure.
If you've ever played any jump or surf maps in Counter-Strike, it's a lot like that. You have like this obstacle course challenge. And
lots of like swinging on ropes, jumping off platforms kind of stuff, using like launch pads or
and you can build up speed by doing certain things as well.
Is there kind of like a wall running Mirror's Edgy kind of element?
Not really wall running. It's a bit like Mirror's Edge in that it's like a first person parkour kind of thing. There's like if you do like turns in midair, if you like rotate and turn yourself in midair, that builds up speed, and you can continuously build up speed and maintain it and go faster.
Okay.
But there's all sorts of different challenges and objectives to do for these courses that make it all the more challenging. It's online by default, so you'll see other players. it's apparently it had more on release, but every once in a while you'll be in the same course with someone. But it's perfectly fine as a single player experience. It's it's got a lot of like Tony Hawk-ish objectives. Finish the course in this time, find the hidden gold star.
Okay.
All sorts of neat little side objectives that you
collect all the letters of skate.
Yeah. You'll play through the same course a few times just to try and get all of these challenges done. It's a lot of fun. You play as like an action figure, like these little GI Joe knockoffs, and you can you'll unlock stuff for them to customize them, and it's pretty fun. But it's I've been having a lot of fun with it.
I like the idea. I always kind of like stuff like this.
Yeah.
Sort of obstacle coursey kind of things.
Yeah, it's really fun. Nice. I will be right back.
Yeah, all right.
You have a second rec there, David?
I do.
Okay, I think I got one too. By the way, I meant to mention de Staat because most people probably don't speak Dutch. It's spelled DE space STAAT.
Right.
So if you want to look up that record, machinery.
Yeah.
De Staat.
I'm gonna have to listen to the whole record. It's
really good.
I said, I know Sweatshop, but I don't know it as an
I've
album.
been working all damn day in the sweatshop.
So here's a recommendation. I recently finished watching The West Wing.
Yes.
Now,
Which I've recommended before.
as much as I love that show, that's not my recommendation, even though I would recommend it. What happened after that is I decided to go back and watch something else.
The Newsroom. Aaron Sorkin.
It's The Newsroom.
Yes.
I decided to watch
The next logical step in the Sorkin verse.
Right, exactly. Which I had to look it up. I believe premiered in 2012.
Yes.
I actually thought it was much earlier for some reason.
No, it was 2012. Yeah, it was not that long ago.
So I only watched maybe 5 episodes of the show back, when I was watching it. And I started watching it recently with Christy. And she had never seen it at all. And the both of us are really into it.
It's very good.
Only just a couple episodes in now.
It's very good.
One of the things about it that is a little disheartening is like not shit has changed.
Yeah.
And everything feels like the same problem of like, how does the media balance trying to do a good thing and be like a useful program and also being entertaining? And, this is like, the line between what is entertainment and what is informative has maybe never been blurrier.
Right.
What is this recommendation?
The Newsroom.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone, I think, knows this show for one of the moments that happens in its premiere episode.
Right at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the, why is America the greatest country in the world?
We're not.
When you say we're the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Yosemite?
Yeah, right. Jeff Daniels just fucking goes off.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that hasn't changed is like we continue to lag behind the world in all these different ways. And maybe it's worse now.
I think he says something in that monologue like, what America leads in was the number of adults over 30 who are incarcerated, the number of adults who believe in angels. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes through all this stuff. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's Sorkin, so anything Aaron Sorkin touches is...
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that's kind of why I picked it up is I was like, okay, really enjoyed watching The West Wing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do some more Aaron Sorkin stuff.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels is great on it.
Of course, yeah.
The woman that plays opposite him, I cannot think of her
I can't either.
name.
I can see her face, yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible. Basically, the whole cast is very good, and the relationships on the show are all very good. The dynamics between some of the different characters are very they're compelling. You really care about the characters.
Well, the cool thing that show did is that it followed news stories.
Yeah, that were really
happening. You know what I mean? And obviously a couple months later because they had to go through production, but like they were like
episode 1 is BP Deepwater Horizon.
Right, exactly. Like it's a real they followed news stories that actually happened in the real world, as though this network was pushing the stories out.
And in a way, it's sort of like a way of reflecting on the media, not exactly in real time, but just sort of like, okay, how would a different newsroom maybe like how would someone approach this subject?
Yeah.
What matters to a newsroom? What should matter to a newsroom? how does a newsroom, like, consider the needs of its audience and address them?
Yeah. There's several highlight moments that I can think of that, like, there's one episode where he's talking with a black campaign official for Rick Santorum's bid for president.
Oh, really?
Did you get that far?
No,
yet?
I didn't.
There's I'm not going to spoil anything, but he's speaking to someone who's a black conservative who's campaigning for Rick Santorum, and he starts this really aggressive line of questioning that's like, does Senator Santorum believe that you are an equal to him because you're a gay black man?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's like this very
It's like really asking him the question that probably nobody else would directly ask.
And then it's this great counterpoint that you get, and I think it's like this one part where Jeff Daniels kind of gets beat by his opposition, but he keeps doubling down.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's another point that I'm thinking of that's like particularly good. Oh, there's the one where at the RNC where they had a gay soldier on who asked Governor Romney a question during the campaign.
Oh, okay.
And got booed by the RNC, like asking his question over live stream.
Did that really happen?
That really happened. That was a real thing that you can look up.
Wow.
A sergeant in the United States Army asked a question to the RNC or to the Republican candidates during the debate.
Yeah.
And then got booed by everybody in the debate room. And I think Jeff Daniels says something like, "What you just heard is a room full of people at the Republican debate." Who he said a room full of people booing an active duty combat soldier in a room full of Republicans at the debate. Surely they'll all be in hell soon. Yeah, I think Jeff Daniels' character on the show. It's been a while since I watched it, but he leans pretty conservative, right? Like
that's the thing is that it's established that he keeps his politics personal.
Yeah.
It's also revealed more or less that he's a pretty conservative guy.
He's a conservative guy, yeah.
But oddly, now it doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. Probably because Sorkin isn't conservative.
Exactly.
Pretty obviously.
He kind of writes a conservative like a liberal somehow.
Right.
But anyway, watch The Newsroom. It's on HBO. There's 3 seasons of it, and I'm going to be watching them.
Yes. It's a good one. I have one more briefly. I'm gonna get this done with so we can wrap this podcast up and I can get some Wendy's. I want to recommend a movie. It's a movie that came out back in 2006 with a very, very surprisingly strong cast. Called Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Which cracks my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
It's so fucking funny.
It is so funny and it's a movie with more heart than I can remember any other movie. Like Juno and Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah. It was like that section of movie.
Wes Anderson? It's not, is it?
No. It's this very indie. Okay, so the people that directed this movie, it's a husband and wife, if I remember correctly. They're also the people who produced The Decline of Western Civilization.
Shame on them.
Yeah. Both of them.
Barack and Michelle Obama.
That's good. No, it came out in that subsect of movies where it was like these very heartful slice of life kind of stories.
Yeah.
Juno was like the next big one that came out.
It's kind of funny because there was an indie boom.
There was an indie boom.
Yeah.
I don't know if it coincided with the availability of more equipment more cheaply.
Might have been, yeah, but we've been riding that wave ever since.
Yeah. But there was a definite time when all of a sudden a DSLR camera that you could shoot a whole movie on suddenly became very affordable to people.
And then that movement ended up in the Greasy Strangler.
Yes.
So I'll let you decide whether it was for the good of humankind or not.
Absolutely.
The one thing I will say about the plot of this movie is basically this follows this highly dysfunctional family, almost like cartoonishly so dysfunctional, but it rides that line where they're not so unbelievable that it takes you out of the movie.
Right.
They're just cartoony enough that it's really funny and it works to great comedic effect. Every character is so completely distinct from the other that it just works.
They're trying to get the young daughter to a child beauty pageant.
Right. She basically won a local. She came in second place, but the original winner was disqualified. Jokingly, I didn't catch this the first several times I watched this, but I just caught it today. the original winner was disqualified for diet pills. She's 7 years old. I caught that. I was like, oh my God, that's such a fucking good joke.
I don't remember that detail. That's really funny.
But so she wins, and she gets a bid to go to drive. They live in Arizona. They have to drive to California for the Little Miss Sunshine, which is like the West Coast gigantic pageant, basically, for all the winners on the West Coast.
Does she have a routine where she's like dressed up like a bee?
She does. Well, she did not a bee. She just. It's my favorite use of Rick James super freak in any film ever. She basically. Censor that when we do the thing so I don't spoil this movie.
Yeah, let me just
Right.
put a little timestamp
Yeah.
on so we don't ruin this movie.
Did you just fart, or was that the chair?
That was the chair,
That was the
unfortunately.
chair, yeah.
When it's a fire,
Bummer.
you'll know.
Okay.
You will
fuck-
feel it.
But no, it's basically this family deciding that they're going to take this time to get their little girl Olive to this pageant because it's something that she really, really wants. And the cast of characters in this movie is incredible. There's the heroin addicted grandfather who basically is her, like, trains her to do this and like, no, this is your routine. You're going to kill it. You're going to be great.
Yeah.
There's the father who's working on his 9-step program that's going to make him rich and famous, but he can't get it off the ground.
Okay, yeah.
Played really well by Greg Kinnear. Toni Collette plays the mother, who is just like this poor, lower.
She's always great.
She's always great in everything she's in. Lower middle class mom just trying to hold the family together. A very young Paul Dano plays the older brother to Olive, Abigail Breslin in her breakout role as Olive. Paul Dano plays her older brother, who's taken a vow of silence until he meets his goal of becoming a fighter pilot for the Air Force. And Steve Carell, who plays the brother to the mom's brother, basically, who at the onset of this movie has attempted suicide unsuccessfully, and is because he can't stay at the hospital under observation because of insurance. The mom brings him into the house basically to watch him and make sure he doesn't kill himself again.
Yeah.
He's recently come out.
Yeah, he's
if I
really,
recall.
yeah, he's gay. He's recently come out, and it's this interpersonal family dynamic that is so unique and so strangely diverse through the entire film.
Gives a writer a lot to work with.
Gives the writers a ton to work with, and you get to watch how these characters kind of change and evolve through the movie, and even the ones you don't like at the beginning, you end up liking by the end because the movie's got so much heart to it.
Paul Dano's character especially.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes in this movie that are genuinely touching, just genuinely touching. Particularly the scenes where Abigail Breslin, who was at the time she was 13 years old during this movie, she was the youngest youngest person ever to be nominated for an Academy Award. Wow. For Best Actress, and she really did an incredible job in this movie. She just absolutely nailed it. And there's several scenes where she gets to shine and show that off. If you're looking for most of the movies I think I recommend on here don't have happy endings. Yeah. This is not that movie. This is a movie that's got a ton of heart, and it feels good to watch all the way throughout the whole thing. And
I remember seeing it with my mom, and she loved it.
It's such a great. It's a real feel good movie, and I think it's kind of the kind of film that we all need kind of right now.
Yeah,
we need some catharsis from the last,
Yeah,
feels good to feel good things.
It does, yeah, and
feels good.
So yeah, Little Miss Sunshine. It's kind of one of those movies that got a ton of hype at the beginning, but it's sort of forgotten now because it's.
I think that's true.
Probably 15 years old.
I can't remember the last time someone mentioned it.
You should watch it. It's a really good movie, and I strongly, strongly recommend it. Cracks my top 10 favorite movies ever. Really worth a watch.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. As a movie nerd, I would say it's pretty.
Well, what if anything did we learn?
I learned things.
Yes, I learned Reggie's smiling, so you know that he's here to actually protect us.
That's right.
Yeah, I put down if the machine is smiling, that means it's safe.
Right, because no dangerous machinery ever has a big smile. That's
right. That's right.
I learned, obviously, that Alex Trebek fingered Ken Jennings.
Of course, yeah.
He got the jump on him.
See, I got this backwards because I think I initially wrote that Ken Jennings fingered Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
There's no reason they can't do it at the same time.
They could both finger.
Well, yeah.
If I know anything from the 3 months that I had Pornhub Premium for free, it's that you can finger each other at the same time.
Two people are perfectly capable.
Two people, and the thing is, back in the day, we didn't know that. But you could finger two.
Times have changed.
Times change. You can finger
Fingers
each
are
other.
different.
You can finger each other at the same time. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's not an issue.
People's fingers are doing things they never did back in the 1950s.
You never imagined it. And I remember I was there with my father, and my father said, Joe, you can finger each other at the same time. It's not a problem.
The official porno release of this is going to be what is mutual stimulation.
That's good.
Getting better in the Biden impression.
we're working on it.
I wrote down that Dave is a scientist, but I can't remember why.
Because of Reggie.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, of course.
That's right.
Because of the machine I built that's going to save us all.
I wrote Catch Jesus on Facebook this Sunday at 9.
Wait, Catch Jesus?
Yeah, Catch Jesus on Facebook. You can watch him live streaming this Sunday at 9.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be playing Apex Legends.
Thanks for subbing. I learned that Charlie Sheen is truly an awful piece of shit.
Horrible.
I didn't realize how bad it was.
What a
me
fucking
neither.
awful response. Someone catches you watching kitty porn and you're like, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. That's like a
Fucking piece of shit.
That's a darkness of spirit I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote
Winning.
I learned that Dave is overdue for a legendary pants shredding, ass blasting fart.
Yes. You're the only one without a Hall of Fame fart.
Legendary. Hey,
Legendary.
I'll promise I'll bank one up.
Legend, wait for it.
And the last thing I wrote is that Joe Biden amputated his hand with his ass.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna do it.
Back in my day, you couldn't express yourself with another man. You had to hide it. And I remember
You had to have fun, clever ways to talk in code.
Yeah.
Maybe you sit on your hand a while, it falls off. Maybe you give it to him as a present. Show a guy that you love.
Yeah, you tap your foot in the bathroom stall next to somebody. Try and get him to show up later.
Maybe he drops you a candy bar. You take it. Maybe you have a bite.
Yeah.
Shows you care about each other.
Yeah.
This is America.
Snickers satisfies, as they say.
That's a whole ball of wax right there.
I believe in an America that can come back, where two
wrong.
men can exchange a candy bar between a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
It lands on the
good.
floor.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Getting better.
Working on it. I learned that there are simple pleasures in watching dictators swing.
There are. I agree. I think we got everything. Unless you have more. You have one more?
One more. George W. Bush believes we can live with the fish.
Yep.
Yes.
He sure does.
And you know
Peacefully.
He also believes OBGYNs can practice their love with women.
what? Practice their love on a cold surgical table
He had another really good one that was
in a
like
shitty room in a strip mall with fluorescent lighting.
You can't fool me again.
You can't fool me. It was one that he was like, the terrorists have great resolve, and so do we. And they never think about ways to stop hurting and destroying this country, and neither do we.
Yeah.
What a fantastic gaffe
God,
that is.
What a great one. We got Joe Biden. We're gonna have some great gaffes.
Dude, it's going to be... The Onion is already gearing up, I'm sure of
The
it.
era of gaffes.
Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning?
There's a reason for that, George.
This has been a very presidential heavy episode.
Was it ever going to be anything else, though?
No, it really wasn't. That's why we didn't have a host with like a real topic. We just kind of like
We just knew we couldn't talk about anything but the world as it is.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it made sense to not do anything like specific this time. But hey, the next time you join us, technically, unless we decide we want to have a guest on, which we might, because I think we kind of
Yes, actually.
it's worth noting because we sort of snubbed Dan for this episode. I know he expressed an interest on being,
But it was a soft snub.
but it was a soft snub
because
like,
it was a next time snub.
yeah,
Right.
we want to have him back on as a guest. I know he expressed an interest on being on the show. And
he says he's going to have a lot of recommendations.
yes, we want to have him on the show, but I think we all kind of felt it was important, like for the first episode that we came back for a while, for it to be just us, because I think partially little person, like for personal reasons too. It's good to get together in a room and just have it be like the three of us doing our thing again.
We started doing this thing 4
years.
Longer, right?
Yeah, well, because we were doing the YouTube stuff before that. So,
I mean, we started doing this so long ago, and it was just meant to be a goofball kind of thing.
Yeah.
The idea that people would want to come and join us seemed foreign.
It's insane.
Or that anyone would want to listen. And I think over the last few months, the more times I heard someone say, hey, when are you going to do an episode?
Yeah, right.
And I kind of was like, you know what?
Yeah, when are we? Yeah.
When are we? This is something that, like, really means something to us.
I know.
There's a fucking gnat.
The last episode, you talked about the gnats, and it's like I just saw it. I'm like, oh fuck.
So it feels good to be able to say tonight. That's when we do it.
That's when we're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's out. We got this one out in the ether, so we could maybe like get on with the fucking thing now. And
I look forward to having Dan on next time.
Yes. Yeah, Dan, if you're listening, we're sorry we soft snubbed you, but we promise we'll have you on.
Go fuck yourself.
Also, you better bring some more of that movie game that you nicked from that other podcast.
Yeah, you prepare.
I bet he has. I think he might have even said something about it. Yeah, but I bet he's got some
some stuff for us. God damn it!
Yeah, you better bring that game because that's fun as fuck.
We didn't play a game tonight, so we got to get some extra game time in.
Well, dudes, congratulations on the first podcast in 3 months. Thanks out there if you're listening. We missed providing this for you as much as some of you have said you missed listening to it. So we'll be back soon.
Yes.
Oh, my dogs. All right.
We love you guys. I don't have any like dumb jokes to throw at the end of this. So it's just nice to be
me
doing
neither.
this.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, right.
Good riddance, the filthy bastard. I hope he fries.
And
and fry he may. All right. See you next time, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.